Hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing? Today will be day 3 of E3. Oh, day 3 of E3.
A lot of threes there.
Yes.
And yesterday was pretty good. Before we get into that with me, I have Freddy as well as Matthew with me.
What?
Yeah,
How are you feeling?
They're all very high.
Let's go.
We're all
Yes. We are all high on caffeine.
Caffeine.
Yeah, because most of us, I think all three of us are like sleep deprived.
Yeah, we did it, so you guys don't have to.
Exactly.
So you guys better love us.
Yeah.
That was like so threatening. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, so today, if you guys just joined us today, this is Let's Talk E3, where we talk everything and anything E3. So starting off the show, we're gonna recap what happened last night before we go on about to our speculations what will happen today. Okay,
Yep.
so
If you have any questions or anything that you want to know, do let us know in the comments. You can talk to us. We will talk to you as well. We are very friendly people. Just a little bit sleep deprived, but yeah.
I think I'm friendly when I'm sleep deprived though. Actually, no. I was quite angry when I was going home just now.
but you were in a traffic jam though.
You were angry for a different reason, which we will discuss in a little bit.
Okay, so starting off the show, of course, if you guys want to see the live stream for E3, all you gotta do is go to c.ign.com. Now let's go see the schedule for tonight. Tonight we have Square over at 1 a.m., Ubisoft at 4 a.m., as well as Sony at 9 a.m. Okay, so here you can just like check it out, take a screenshot if you want, or if you miss it, don't worry, we have it on our website. c.ign.com is the place to be.
Yep,
Okay?
it's gonna be a busy day ahead of us.
Very busy.
Yeah. Okay,
Fun.
no, the thing is, like, we thought last time, it's like, okay, just 2, it was gonna be fine. And then suddenly, Microsoft dropped, like, bomb.
See-
We're like, whoa.
Tash, weren't you glad that you picked my side yesterday?
I'm actually quite glad, yeah. Okay, I was like, oh, no, I think it's just gonna be okay. They're just gonna give us games to fill up the Xbox. But no, it wasn't 15 games, it was 50! What?
5-0.
Yeah, it was 50. And out of that, 18 was exclusive and the rest were third party, which I'm very, very happy about because number 1, we're going to see some competition between 2 consoles. And number 2, it's no longer, there's no games on the Xbox. We
Yep.
have more.
That's true.
I can have both consoles and play both
I
consoles.
like it because I like it that Microsoft is no longer just like, Halo or Buzz kind of platform.
Yeah.
I mean, they allow more third party, contents, which is okay because I know that a lot of people on the internet, they were complaining, how come, there's not many exclusive Xbox, but I don't think that is a bad thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of them opening up and say, right now we need more titles, and we will also be focusing on other titles. And I mean, they are our own exclusive, so I would say why not?
Exactly. Also, another thing that I like is that no longer will we be stuck. Like, Southeast Asians can actually expand away from PlayStation 4. We can actually say, oh hey, we wanna get an Xbox now, and it's okay because there's a bunch of games for us to play. It's no longer just the competitive for us to play. And also another thing is, like, I mean, we still probably would not pick up an Xbox
Yep.
because support here is kind of lacking, but it's still it's an option that we have. Okay, so
Okay, quick one. I'm just gonna read out some of the comments. So Naim-san here said, "Hi you guys. One game I'm still waiting is MK11,
okay, MK11. What's that?
Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat.
I don't think that's gonna come out soon.
It's a little bit too
unfortunately.
soon, I think.
I don't think it's gonna be Mortal
But
Kombat.
well,
either.
one can hope, one can be optimistic if they can announce Elder Scrolls 6.
This is the
why
best
not?
time to be optimistic, right?
Yep.
It's E3. It's Christmas.
And there's also Akid Ibrahim. Hiya, IGN. Woohoo. Yes, woohoo.
He's excited.
Yep. He also said, wow, Natasha always look beautiful. Woohoo.
Oh.
Even when she's sleep deprived. Yeah.
Aw.
High on caffeine, actually. Okay, so now that we're already talking about Microsoft, let's have a quick recap of the Microsoft show. Okay, so we were kind of like, we weren't expecting too much from Microsoft. The stage, of course,
Yeah.
as usual, every year looks the same, looks very polished. I liked it, but what was different this year is that they actually played their cards right.
Look
I
at
like it
that.
that they
Oh
started
my.
with
Halo.
Halo Infinite.
Exactly.
They
Straight
straight
away.
away tell you we have Halo. It may not be Halo 6, but it's okay. I will take it any day. I'm not a Xbox player to begin with,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's still a really great news, and we have other titles as well. Like you
Ori.
can see on
Yeah.
the screen now, there's Ori.
Yeah.
And the stage is also very beautiful to me.
It
To
looked
me-
it looked like a cool platform.
Actually, when they dropped the games, there was like barely any time to breathe. You won't have time to recover.
Correct. It's
from
almost like
seeing
now,
that.
right?
Yeah,
With Sekiro, and then the next one, as it's Fallout 76.
Fallout 76.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why are they showing Fallout? I thought it's gonna be a Bethesda title.
Because the thing
Yeah.
is, because Microsoft was first, they actually got to do the world premieres.
Yeah.
They actually get to show first, which means that a lot of things, a lot of the hype was already there. So when it
Correct.
comes to other shows like maybe Sony, Bethesda, Ubisoft, all that, people are like, oh, we already seen this. I mean, it's cool that we get to see the extra stuff, but people already know, like, okay, this is definitely coming. Then
Yep.
there's no more of that little mystery
Yep. And
egg there and stuff.
we have a Crackdown 3 there as expected,
Yep.
and
Terry
we have
Crews.
more Terry Crews.
Yep, always we never have too much Terry Crews, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun. But then Kingdom Hearts,
Oh,
this
this was
one
hype.
caught me off
Yeah,
guard
one of the
because,
You were
highlights of the
screaming in the office.
okay, I was screaming for two reasons. Number one was betrayal. Number two was, whoa, that was awesome.
Not a betrayal. They just open their doors more.
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
just fine, which is fine. But the thing is, like, I wasn't expecting it to be here. I was expecting it to be at Sony because
Yep.
they're always been on,
Yep.
those kind of
And
consoles.
of course, we must have a Forza
For-
game.
for-
So we have
Forza.
Forza
It
Horizon
looked pretty
4.
cool, to be
It's very
honest.
it's cool because it's no longer just like a
It's an
know
open
it's
world.
very
world.
innovative.
Yeah.
They opened it up for everyone.
it's kind of like the crew, but hopefully it's better and different.
Racing
hopefully.
MMORPG.
Yeah.
Racing MMORPG. Okay. And then,
Racing Battle Royale.
No. One thing I was thankful about that we didn't hear the word battle royale.
So
we
much.
did.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we saw
much.
only one, which
Once.
is PUBG.
And
Yeah.
of
I
course,
mean, that
here
was
as well,
better.
Microsoft also announced that they will be acquiring more studios.
Yeah.
They'll be doing more exclusive.
They brought 4 in yesterday. Among them,
Five.
five. Among them was Undead Labs, Ninja
Theory.
and I just can't.
Yeah, there are a
remember
few
the
more, but
rest.
really,
Compulsion
Yeah.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compulsion games.
is quite impressive. And of
And-
course,
Okay,
the
so
PUBG,
PUBG.
the-
This one was actually quite funny because nobody cared.
yeah, even
wait.
I'm
Don't
sorry.
say that.
Whoa, whoa,
Everyone
whoa,
cares
whoa.
for some games.
There's
I'm
new
not
winter
saying
map,
that
okay?
I'm not saying that nobody cared like that, but the reaction from the crowd, they were just silent, like, oh, PUBG.
Yeah.
You know, like, it wasn't like, oh,
Oh,
my god,
this-
new
And
map.
of
This
course,
one was the oh
we
my
have
god.
Yes.
Devil May Cry 5. I know it's
DMC.
already leaked, but yeah, finally seeing it being confirmed is still really cool.
Another thing is, like, I didn't expect DMC to be on Xbox as
That's
well.
true.
Mm.
Okay, so Cuphead, I was like, whoa. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming.
And it's, they have a lot of decent surprises, I would
Yeah,
say.
they-
They might not be like something that will blow your mind right away, but a lot of them are pretty cool. And like this one, I think is really cool as
Yep,
well.
Jump
Jump
Force.
Force.
Yeah.
It's a 3D fighting game.
Basically, it's like Marvel was the best crossovers of
Yeah,
all time.
mm.
Hold my beer!
Okay, see my shonen jump. Let's see if we can, finally witness Saitama. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Battletoads for
Battletoads.
those
Battletoads.
classic arcade players. This
Yeah.
is amazing.
So cute. And then, of course, we also have Just
Just
Cause
Cause
4, which I was quite surprised to see as well
This is
here.
the cute one.
Oh,
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah.
This one, I was just like, people are gonna be angry. They've been waiting for years, and suddenly they give us pop, but then suddenly they don't not only just one, three
Three
games.
So there's
for
Gears Tactic as well. So it's kind of like an XCOM but in Gears of War
Yep.
setting.
12 years before the first one, PC exclusive, and then finally they
And
teased
then when you
Gears.
think it's done, right?
Gears
Suddenly this
Gears
is the one.
5,
Gears
which
5.
looks really, really good. Okay, so what I liked about the Microsoft show is that they didn't talk much. They just straight out to business. Okay,
Yep.
we're here to redeem. We gotta make sure that people are happy.
Correct.
Take all these games, be happy, and that was it.
Mm.
They literally just allow the content to speak for themselves.
Yeah,
Which is great, yeah.
Yeah, I like those kind of shows more than people who kind of like ramble too much on stage, which is what Bethesda did. But we'll get to that.
Yep.
A
Oh,
little
but
And
bit
this one
of course
was
we have
so
this,
good.
another big gun.
Okay,
Cyberpunk.
this one was like, oh, it was so good. At the same time, I was a little bit disappointed because it wasn't what I envisioned in my mind.
Yeah, of
I'm
course,
not necessarily a bad
everyone,
thing.
we
Yeah.
would love to see gameplay. But
Yeah.
to me, I think this is good enough because
Yeah.
it gave us a lot of insights. We can have a whole show, 1 hour to talk about, just analyze this trailer. But
Yeah.
it actually gave us a lot of things to talk about.
Exactly. And that was the entire
So
well, most of the Microsoft
Yeah.
show. And honestly, to me, I actually thought it was going to be like a 5 or a
Yeah.
6, but I actually want to give it a 9 because even though last year the Xbox One S was announced, like to me it wasn't that impressive because it's like, okay, you give us a machine, but what are we going to do with it?
Yep.
Now it's like finally we can use that machine that we
Yep.
were supposed to buy. Like, no
Yeah,
offense
that's true.
to Microsoft, I bought an Xbox last year. The only game I have on it is Destiny 2. Nothing else.
But now you have more
You have
reasons.
more,
You
you're
have
gonna buy-
more
you're gonna
games
buy a
now.
lot of games now.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes! I can finally go and play online
Okay,
now with
just
everyone.
a quick shout out to some of the people in the comment. Ellery Pete here say watching from the Philippines.
Hello.
Yo,
Emoji,
mabuhay,
hello.
kumusta?
And K Kenji say hello as well. And Dane Whedon say watching from the shadows.
And we have Alan Fang.
Yeah,
What's
and
up?
shout out to June as well. June thinks just join us.
Yep.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And but overall, how do you find like Microsoft? Do you think that is their best, like what they claim to be?
I think it's great.
Mm.
Could have been better at some points, but honestly, to me, this is definitely one of their better shows
See,
for sure.
The one thing, when we were watching the show, okay, I think we need to separate one thing. As a show, they did really well. It was
Yeah.
hype, really good. We're jumping up and down the office, everything is here and there. But if you look at it, about E3 is that they want to try and sell more units of Xbox.
Yeah.
Will this drive more sales? Because will any of the games get? It will. I think a lot of them will get cross-platform.
Yeah.
So will it actually drive more sales for Xbox?
I think at this point they may not care about that, which is great because I think they are using this year as a leap year.
That's
Kinda like,
true.
okay,
Yeah.
we want to tell the world that we are restructuring. We
Mm.
want to focus on the games itself, and not so much of like this, all about backward compatibility and everything. They want to focus on the game, and I think it's great.
Okay.
Just let them do that. Let them do that. Let
That's
them
true.
be cross-platform is fine. But sooner or later, to be frank, we are almost at the last quarter of this current gen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think they are playing the long game. They're trying to set themselves up for Xbox 2. I don't know, whatever.
But
yeah.
for me personally, I think there'll be some sales
Mm.
because of the 18 exclusives they had for like the actual fanboys out there. But I don't think it'll be anything major. It'll give people more more options per se. If people say, oh, I wanted to get an Xbox for the longest time, but I don't have a game, but now I can get it because I have options, then definitely great. But as I said, I don't think they're gonna set themselves up for Xbox 2 just yet because
course.
Not
Xbox
yet.
One S just
Yeah,
came out.
I think it's gonna be like at least 4 to 5 years.
Yeah, I think
Before
if
we-
anything, PlayStation 5 will come out first.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion.
But at the very least, I think they did a really good job in acquiring the other studios as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one thing they did really well is they made the public perceive as Microsoft is back.
Yeah.
It's like it's finally like next year during E3 everyone's gonna look at it. It's like, oh wow, this is something that you hype for.
Yeah.
Before that, yesterday we were talking about the show. Everyone's
Just
like,
like,
oh, it's just
yeah.
Microsoft.
And this is only a presentation.
Yeah.
You also have to remember that they have the floor as well in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
that's
other
true.
things that they can show for the next few days, which is why some people prefer to start first because
Yeah.
right, if you get done with your show, then you can review everything on
Yep.
the floor. So I think
Mm.
that's what they're trying to do. They have so many games, 50, okay?
Yeah.
50 games. If there are 50 booths, that's it. There's a football
Yeah,
stadium
and
right there.
we saw like 100 Xbox on the stage.
Yeah.
Like not really sure what they were doing for. Apparently they were doing some streamer thingy.
Yeah, some streamers are gonna come in, they're gonna stream the game, they're gonna share, they're
Yeah.
gonna make content with it to share out with public.
Yep.
But also what I liked about Microsoft is that it opens out the boundaries. It means, right? Like no, what's the word? That means they're trying to be like, you know what? Forget about trying to be exclusive. Forget about, having our own stuff, using our own stuff. Let's just let everyone play everything
true.
and anything.
Yep.
Let's just let's just put down our ego,
Yep.
which is nice, which is very nice to see. Okay, now
Okay,
let's go on.
Just a quick
Yep.
one here.
Yep.
Can we Max here said, I just watched it. What did I miss? Well, basically, we just recap Microsoft, but we won't do it again just for you. Really sorry. But you can, after the stream is done, you can just rewind. But basically, we recap the entire conference of Microsoft, and it was good. Yeah.
It was really good. I actually, I wouldn't say it was 10 out of 10. I definitely give me a 9 out of 10 for sure. What
Or
would
at
you
least,
guys
I would say at least 8 to 8.5.
8.5.
Yep, I think 8. I think 8 is fair.
Yeah. All right. So next up, after that we had Bethesda on stage. So Bethesda, I mean, I was being
Before we play the video,
Yeah.
let's just quickly, one word. Okay, Matthew, what do you think? Of Bethesda, if you have to use one word to describe it.
Disappointing.
Disappointing. Okay, that's actually funny because it got actually a lot of people said that Bethesda had like the best show. But the thing is, like, unless you were there for the first 1.5 hours, I think you would
Yeah.
beg to differ.
I-
Personally, for me, it was a very cringe.
It felt
was
like
very
the show didn't have a
cringe.
flow.
Yeah.
It was
it
just
was-
like copy paste. Okay, this is your slot. Take it. This is your slot. Take it. It didn't have like a general flow. Of
Yeah,
the show.
it was very
I have a
messy.
feeling. Okay, right now we just take a look at the
Yeah.
video first.
Okay, so we had Fallout 76, of course, and then
Yeah, they started off with like snippets of everything, which I
Yep.
think is
Yeah,
pretty
this is
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Because they kind of set you on, all right, they're gonna show us stuff. They're gonna show us a lot of stuff, and suddenly they cut to like
The
a
Office.
documentary when they talk about the office, which I really didn't.
I was a little bit
Yeah.
confused why they did that because personally for me, I didn't really care about behind the,
Mm.
But
the
of course,
scene
they
stuff.
showcased the
Rage
gameplay
2.
of Rage 2.
Rage 2
which
looked
is
good.
Good if you. Yeah, I think it looks great in terms of the
Graphics
combat,
and stuff.
graphic and everything. But it didn't really have the fun, wacky
Yeah.
feel. That I
It
thought
wasn't
would have.
that. It wasn't what I felt like. It wasn't what was marketed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, of course, we have a flurry of games that we already know, like Elder
Scrolls
Scrolls Legends,
Legends.
Yep.
the trading card game,
Yep.
which with a new trailer and a new team behind it, I guess. And then we
And
have
it's Somerset, which is already out, which
Correct.
is why I was very confused. Like, why are you showing this to us when it's already out? I know they want to bring kind of like attention, but it's like felt weird.
Yep.
Yeah. And then after that, there was like a Doom Eternal.
Which
This was good.
cool.
This
With
was
Doom
cool.
Eternal,
Yeah.
I actually liked, but I felt like I wish they would talk more about it. But I understand why they're bringing it to Quake because they want to promote Quake. So
Yeah.
by bringing that game there, it brings attention
And,
to
and
Quake.
they also mentioned that to find out more about Doom Eternal, you have to tune into QuakeCon,
Yep.
which is happening
August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too far away. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I mean, I can wait. Yeah.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
And then Quake Champions was nice. It looked pretty cool. It looked like the classic Quake gameplay, but never really had something to shout about. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's classes and stuff in there, but personally for me, they said they wanted to make the game more accessible to everyone. There's new features, which I'm good. I'm a little bit skeptical about this because Quake has always been known about being fast, about being
and
having
the
a
skill
high,
cap, yeah.
Yeah.
high skill cap. So when you make this game more accessible, will no longer be Quake?
well,
you
you can play for free for now for a week.
Yeah.
You have 1 week to find out.
Not for free. I thought it was if you download it in this week.
Yeah,
it'll
you
be
get it
free.
forever.
For that,
Yeah.
for that week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get it
And then,
forever
of
for
course, we
free.
have Prey, the new DLC, and then cut back to the office.
Okay, Prey DLC was a little bit weird for me because end of the day, everyone's just saying, "Hey, Prey DLC," more like prop hunt. Like.
But oh well, I mean, it's still a new mode. I think it's okay for them to announce that. And of course, we have
Youngblood.
Wolfenstein.
Okay,
Youngblood.
the Young Blood is what I was really eager about. Okay, this is a standalone story about the twins,
Yeah.
and which is really nice.
I don't mind this. I think this is a good move for them to announce it on E3.
Yeah, but I felt like it could have been bigger. Because this is actually something that people
Or at
actually
least a sneak preview of the gameplay.
The gameplay. I think.
yeah, because this is a big thing. Everyone
Correct.
loves Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein is huge. Okay, and then after that, of course, there were a lot of rambling, honestly, on the stage, in my opinion. Like I just
A lot of Bethesda.
But
like
we
to do
are-
this.
a lot of
We like to
swearing.
play games with you.
And then this
And
is
then of course
the big one.
gameplay of 76,
76.
which is alright.
It's
They
okay.
showcase a lot more things. They told us that this is an open world online game. It's
MMO.
entirely online. And you can play solo, but you still have to be online. So
Yeah.
why not play with other people, right?
I think you might as well bring in other people. Did you see like the monsters that are there? I think you kind of end of the day need a party.
I think they have some PvE elements, and at the same time, you can build your own house and you can launch nuke as well. How cool is
Okay,
that?
this one is cringe. The mobile game. Okay, I mean I understand if you want to play a mobile game on landscape,
Blades.
but then something is like
Portrait.
we can play on portrait.
So you can sneak it,
Alright.
but this
I-
one,
But
Oh,
anyway,
was it-
This
to
one
cut to this.
Okay,
is
this
the
one
main
is the one of the big meaty parts.
Well,
this
we-
is
We
Starfield.
didn't know too much about what it is
God.
because
Yeah.
it's just like Starfield. But yeah, they just dropped the bomb, Starfield, and then followed by
Guess what?
this.
The Elder
By
Scrolls
this.
back to
6.
back.
We'll talk about Starfield in details later, but right now we have this.
Oh
The
my
Elder
god,
Scrolls
this
6.
was crazy.
Yeah.
The amount of people
yeah.
just went crazy
To
in
be
our office
frank-
itself was
The,
too much.
the last, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes of the show redeemed themselves.
really
if not,
good.
they will be really,
Honestly, just cut the first 1.5 hours.
Yep.
Just show the last two.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That would have been better.
Before we talk about everything in details, just quickly, we'll read about the we'll read the comments first.
Yep.
Mohammed Farid Ears here said, "Yep, never mind the fact that most of them are multi-platform, but they premiered on their stage. That's a great move. I think that's
Exactly.
referring to
Mm.
Microsoft.
Microsoft, yep.
And
Akid Ibrahim says that I heard that Darksiders 3 will come out. Is that true?
we will talk about that more when in the later segment. But
Right.
maybe in Sony, yes. Can we Max also ask here? Just asking, anyone know if the new Halo game is an open world type or it will be a normal shooter game? Obviously at the moment we don't know too much yet, but from some confirmation, it may be an open world shooter. We are not too sure yet. We'll let you know once we confirm.
Halo Battle Royale.
Yes, and
Could be. There's the potential for
Yoyaku
it.
Sakai said DMC5 demo will come out soon. I don't think
There was
so.
no- there was no date.
soon.
No,
There was
demo,
no date.
no
No
date,
demo.
nothing.
But it looks so cool.
It
Yeah.
looks really cool.
And
Alright.
Muhammad Nozai say hi IGN and hi Muhammad Nozai.
Hello, friend. Okay, so now let's talk a little bit in detail about Bethesda.
Oh.
Okay, Bethesda. We started off with what?
The whole
Again,
thing.
what?
Okay,
You need to start the
Fallout-
band.
Let me just describe. Okay, I know that a lot of the people on the internet say, "Oh, Bethesda is actually pretty good." Whatever.
Some people gave them an A.
No.
Yes, but I think those people are the ones that never sit through the entire 1.5 hours. They literally just watch the highlights. And of course, it will sound great because you have two really big titles that they drop at the end. But if you sit through the entire 90 minutes,
Look at their faces. He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
they were like,
right, we'll show you. Yeah, see, they started with a rock band thing with Andrew WK. If you're not familiar, he is like a rock star, but a little bit out of place.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to introduce Rage 2, but he has no connection to
Yeah,
Rage
it
2.
felt like so out of place.
she was just standing there like, yeah,
Yeah, he didn't even have a mohawk. What the heck?
yeah. it was,
Right, and it was very
it
awkward.
was the
it was
very,
really awkward.
it was cringe. It was seriously
Ah.
cringe. Everyone was confused. Everyone was scared.
And
I was
when
scared.
they reviewed, when they finally show us the gameplay of Rage 2,
It wasn't what it was supposed to be. It wasn't wacky. It wasn't fun. It was more
felt too serious. It felt too
yeah,
serious for me.
maybe
Like,
they haven't add like the
The s-
fluff or whatever,
yeah.
but it just felt like if you don't tell me what game it is, I could even say that yeah, it could be a Fallout game or even a Doom game, something serious.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when you finally see the Mohawk, okay, maybe this is a Borderlands 3, I don't know. But
yeah.
it just didn't have something that is too distinctive, I would say.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So after that, we went to we had Fallout 76, which we already talked about. But let's talk about Doom Eternal. So they said that Doom Eternal is not Doom 2. It's actually a sequel to Doom, but not Doom 2. What do you guys think
But
about
it's
that?
a full title by itself.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it's Doom 1.5-ish kind of thing.
1.5-ish.
Like, it's a sequel when you think about it. It
Yeah.
should be Doom 2, but they just want to keep that IP for something else. Maybe they have something big planned. Maybe like
Yep.
two monsters, whatever that is.
Right.
But it's a big thing. It is a good coming back from the IP.
Yeah,
It's been 2 years
I
from
think it's
it.
good because in the trailer you see they actually showcase a lot of the really iconic monsters like Hell Baron is there,
Right.
and they also say that you have 2 times more monsters than the one before. Which,
Right.
okay, that could mean good thing or bad thing. It could mean that the game is just slow and draggy, or
Right.
it could mean that it's really awesome. We don't know yet at this point.
Okay. After that, we also had another pretty cool game, which was what was that game again? Oh my god, it's like kind of like okay. What was another game that stood out for you guys?
I would say that that's the thing, that there was no real game.
There was a weird
out.
commercial somewhere in the middle talking about Skyrim.
That one was funny.
That was funny.
That
okay,
one
that
was
was
funny.
That was really good.
Yeah, that's really cool.
To be
Let's-
honest,
let's
you know,
take a look at
I
this one.
thought it was real, and I was so like, wow, if
Yeah.
Alexa can do it, I would actually play on
Yeah.
it.
I
Like,
thought
what?
it would.
So we
Yes.
have
Level
that guy from
57.
Key and Peele. I think
And
is he
see a
Key
tall
or
Keegan.
Peele?
Key and
Is he
Peele.
Keegan? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Climate
he
now.
literally just be there,
Yeah.
and talk
This
about
is like playing Dungeons and Dragons with your.
It's kind of cool because it kind of lets people be not the deaf people or the blind people. They're more. It's like more
Sure.
accessible, you
and
know.
it really lightened the mood as
Yeah.
well, Bethesda, because it was getting really cringy already, and suddenly
Yeah.
with this, actually, alright, not too bad.
Like I like that they made fun of themselves. Like they realized that their show is actually kind of bad when they're actually
They
acknowledging
could have
it.
done
No.
this from the beginning.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they should have done this. This I don't think is making fun of themselves.
Yeah.
The show is bad. It's just that because everyone has been teasing like E3 past years, they were just like, oh, cross-platform Nintendo Switch, and then
Yeah.
just
On
so
a
many-
toaster.
on a
I
toaster.
mean, on the flip side, if you get to play like Skyrim on any devices
Yeah.
at home, that would be quite cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is just cool.
Alexa, I was like, that's so cool. I would actually play on it.
I like
Yeah.
that they played it in the fridge. It wasn't the toaster I wanted, but good enough. You know?
Okay,
Good
another
enough.
comment here from Carlton Koo that's commenting on YouTube. Is everyone having have enough sleep?
No.
No,
He
definitely
also
not.
said that Bethesda is really not my thing, and finally I can play Tales of Vesperia. Well,
Yeah.
if
That's
that's your
true.
thing, yeah. I mean, I like Tales game as well, so it's really good for them to announce that yesterday.
Yeah,
in,
right.
in Microsoft as well.
It's exactly okay. So now let's talk about the big two
Bethesda,
in
yep.
Bethesda, which is let's start off with Starfield. Okay, we don't know anything about it, but to me when I saw, it, I was like, oh my god, Interstellar. you know?
Yeah, it looks so cool.
A few things that
Looks
they confirm about Starfield is that is RPG.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think they also mentioned that it's open world.
Open world
And it's
RPG
set
in
in
space.
That's all you know. But
Okay,
of course, there's
good.
a lot of fan theory. Some even said that Starfield is connected to both Skyrim,
Skyrim and
and
Elder Scrolls.
There will be,
yeah,
a,
yeah, yeah,
there will be a
Elder
good
Scrolls, yeah.
good gap to
That's
bridge,
right.
right?
No,
Skyrim,
Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
Yeah.
Fallout.
Like they said that someone else said that maybe Fallout is actually the past
Mhm.
and Elder Scrolls
is
is
the
the
future.
future. That's
and
also
in the middle is Starfield. So
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
it's
How,
kind of
how
a
do you
little bit
connect it?
weird.
How do you connect it? That's
Apparently,
the
it's something
question.
to do with quantum time leap, blah blah blah,
Mhm.
stuff like that. It's kind of
Yep.
cool. But I can't wait for it to come out because when it comes to like time leap and stuff, it
Yeah.
kind of like messes with your head. You don't want to think about
The
it too
only
much.
time will tell how cool it would be, lah. But I really like it that they also mentioned Starfield is the first original IP they have after 25 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
25 years is a long
It
time.
tells you that they've been milking the same few
That's
titles for like
almost my
25
age.
years.
That's almost my age, okay? That's a long time.
Mm.
Okay, and now let's talk about the last one they showed, which went everyone went crazy. Elder Scrolls 6, okay?
Wow.
I don't really know much about this other than the mods,
Yeah.
but do you think in Elder Scrolls 6 the mods will be just as crazy?
There's
yes.
a slight hint that when Todd was talking about it that they may not have mods anymore, but he
What?
mentioned a little bit of something. I can't remember what was the details, but a lot of people were speculating that they may not allow mods, but they may allow something else, custom
But
engine
my
or whatever.
Thomas the Tank.
But having said
mod.
that, we don't even know what which map or which world they will be setting in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
it-
only saw a little bit, a tiny bit, and everyone was
I was
just
like
trying to
analyzing
figure out
like
where
where
it
this
is.
town is.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that's enough. You see, just by showing you 6 seconds of like Elder Scrolls 6, that's enough to like
Okay. Then I want to ask you guys if the most hype thing was the two things that gave us like 10 seconds trailers each. Was it really a good E3 performance?
It tells you that us gamers sometimes are very easy to be satisfied.
I think
That's
You
true.
give us the right thing.
That's true.
You don't need an hour. Just give us 10 seconds of good shit. We were like, okay, fine.
I
That's it.
think it's more of like we've waited for this for a long time,
Mhm.
and you're telling us this is in the works, which means that we can have something to look
Yeah.
forward to, other than not knowing at all and thinking that they've abandoned the whole franchise. That would suck. Okay, before
Dan
we go
here,
into things,
not Dane. Dan.
Dan.
here, Dan.
Yeah.
You can read the comment.
Yeah.
Bethesda started rough though, but Todd the Legend ended amazingly, and of course with TESVI Revelation, they owned it. Yes, I think that was the only saving grace in my opinion. I think the whole show could have been done better. It wasn't really like they had bad games or anything like that. We didn't really. It wasn't that. It was just how the show was handled.
Yeah.
Overall, they had a good show. They had some really decent stuff to show. But the thing is that I mean, there's a better way to do things. Microsoft was very simple. Didn't need a lot of extra fluff or frills or anything.
Trailers.
It was just like straight up trailers. Last year they bought in a car and this and that. We weren't impressed. We're just like, okay, why? We don't really care about this,
We're gamers. We
Yeah,
just want
yeah.
games.
We just want to see what is coming out. There's no need to really entertain us. Okay, like we do like the troll stuff. That's cool. The ads are cool. Didn't like the documentary. Very cringe. As I said, Bethesda, cringe.
Yeah,
Stop.
It's just the
Don't do this again.
overall, I agree with you. The overall tone wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like even all the developers looked very, like
Out of place.
out of place and awkward, and everyone was just unsure of themselves. I'm not sure if Microsoft tilted them or if something happened behind the scenes, but next time before you get on stage, just get your flow together. That's all I can say to Bethesda.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, now let's talk about today, which is before that, I like to say thank you so much to Freddy because I want to bring Dane in now.
Yep.
Don't worry, guys. Don't get angry because he
He'll
will
be
be back here later. All right,
Oh.
Dane, what is up?
Good day.
G'day.
Okay, so now tonight we're
How
gonna
are you,
let's
Tash?
just fine, thank you. we're gonna go have a look at the schedule one more time, okay? Before we start, tonight we have Square Enix, Ubisoft, as well as Sony. So Square Enix, don't forget 1 a.m., which is a little bit earlier today. We have Ubisoft at 4 a.m. and finally Sony at 9 a.m., which means another sleepless night for all of us. Woo!
24 hours.
24 hours.
For the past like 48 hours. I think I got like 5 hours of sleep only. Let's go.
So like if you guys want to check out the live stream, don't forget to go c.ign.com is the place to be. That's where our pre-show is, and that's where the IGN live stream will also be as well.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to join us, do join us there.
So,
okay.
You know, I know I'm not as good as Alzheimer, but I hope you guys accept
Oh
me.
my god.
I'm sorry, Farhan. I'm sorry, Armin.
Not
I
close.
hope that I'm a close second to your boy, Alzheimer. Thank you for giving me a chance.
Okay. I'm so sorry.
It's not easy. It's not easy to measure up.
I mean, look at
It's
him.
hard.
He is perfect in
He's a
everything.
very
You
handsome
guys are
man.
tilting me. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Okay, so today, starting off, let's talk about Square Enix.
Yeah.
We already saw the Kingdom Hearts 3 date announcement, and we already saw the trailer over at Microsoft, which kind of caught me off guard. So, besides Kingdom Hearts 3, what can we expect from Square Enix?
The thing is that we didn't even see the trailer. We saw gameplay as well.
Yes.
That sort of makes me think that the Square Enix is something bigger in store, because like you don't want to just give your flagship game
Exactly.
to some competitor. I mean, technically they are a competitor, right?
Uh,
How would
ish.
you want to hype up your show if Square, you give away your main game?
More content, or maybe a spoiler, or maybe an in-depth what do you call that, like explanation as to what's going on in the trailer itself. I mean, we saw Aqua. She became evil, taken over by Xehanort, from what I'm guessing,
Probably more likely that, as you say, there'll be a bit more gameplay. They might have the director or something come out and do a bit of combat, explain it a bit. I doubt they would give everything to Microsoft.
Because there's no way, because like look at Bethesda. They did give Microsoft their trailer,
Yeah.
but after that what happened is that after that it was like you saw more stuff going on over in Fallout 76.
Yeah.
So over here, like you can see the gameplay already. This thing is like, it seems like everything's already out. The gameplay's already out. They teased a new world which is frozen already, and also the Aqua part. It's like, oh, okay, so what now? What do we have now for
This happens quite a lot with E3. We see the first one, you're like, oh, that's everything. And then the
There's
devs
so
come
much
out,
more.
explain it more. And then PlayStation will come out and be like, oh, by the way,
There's
on
more.
PlayStation, there's exclusive DLC on launch, and they'll show
That's
that.
what they did with Destiny 2. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, Destiny 2 is here, but guess what? We're gonna give you extra guns if you get Destiny 2 on the PlayStation. It's like, what?
That tends to be the way it goes.
Yeah.
In this kind of games.
But
Yeah.
the one thing I want to highlight is that if we're seeing so many games in other press conferences,
Yeah.
do you think that Final Fantasy VII might have actually come out?
That's the thing. I was literally just talking
No?
about this a few days ago.
Come
Like,
out?
if say
I mean,
Kingdom Hearts 3 was already
The remake.
the leaked,
What do you mean come out?
like the remake, like will they tease more?
They will tease more.
They have been looking for writers, level designers for that. Like they are
will
hiring.
it revealed in this?
That game is undergoing some serious rework.
I heard that the some of the people working with them, got replaced.
Yeah.
So that means a lot of stuff may need to be redone again.
They said it about as directly as you could, that they felt the quality was not where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And it's quite a big investment by them. So
But let's talk about that later. But right now, let's talk more about Kingdom Hearts 3. So, what do you guys think can come up more? Because I know, like, you guys are saying, okay, that's it. There's probably going to be more. But what can they show more? They've practically showed a lot of the stuff.
That's the thing. Realistically, what else can you? What you see your worlds, you see all the Disney characters, you see gameplay,
Yeah.
you see what else do you want? The story?
I mean, personally, to me, they shouldn't be leaking all of the world.
You see,
because
that's the
I
thing.
want to play and be like, oh my god, this is a world
No,
here.
that's the
that kind
thing,
of
because we don't know the full game. There
Yeah.
might be something that goes, oh my god, what is it? But
Yeah.
for now, we think, that's all we have.
it's funny because they release trailers for movies like this at the same length for a 2-hour movie. This
Yeah.
is going to be like a 50-hour game.
I
the
think
same
it
length.
might be
Yeah.
longer.
Like I'm sure there will be a lot.
Yeah, there's gonna be a
games
lot
are so damn long when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how. Yeah,
Realistically, I feel they'll just show off maybe a bit more detail on the combat, the different type of weapons, just some new mechanics.
Yeah, I really like to see that actually. All right, so next up, let's move on to Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, we saw that
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, we saw that on the floor already. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. To me, the graphics looked a little bit weird.
A little bit weird.
Okay, I mean it was good graphics, but did you see Lara Croft's hair? And as well as her face, it looked like an old school kind of graphic. It wasn't, when you look at Kingdom Hearts, most games on the PlayStation 4, hair is like very flowy, and you can see every single strand. But hers didn't. It just looks very, very matted. I don't know.
To be honest, when it first came out, when the trailer was revealed,
Yeah.
it didn't feel like it was Lara Croft. I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Then after a while, I was like, oh, like a character actually called her Laura. I was like, oh, it is Tomb Raider. So I think like the graphics were a little bit.
Did you just say Laura?
Lara.
It's Lara.
Lara.
Oh, Lara.
Oh my goodness.
Lara.
Doesn't even know her name.
But yeah, I mean, just look at this on the screen. Just look at how the hair looks. It looks very matted, like kind of like PlayStation 2 hair. See, you don't really see each strand like you always do.
Look, hair is the
PlayStation
biggest
4.
challenge of the 21st century for devs. You remember
Look at
all the
that.
drama? I can't remember one game was like Nvidia sabotaged the hair physics for AMD. It was
Oh
Witcher 3.
Yeah,
Witcher 3 was all
yeah.
about the hair.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just trying to say, we're in this gen now. You can't really say that, graphics.
I'll be honest,
look
I
like-
didn't notice anything about her hair.
Just no, look at it.
It wasn't the hair. It was just like the whole general look that
She
didn't
looks older.
feel.
She
feel
looks
like
older than the
She
first
looks a
game.
lot
Tomb Raider.
older, yeah, for sure. But I think because they model her based on the new actress, I think maybe because back then she looked different, and there's a new model now for her. But yeah, overall, what do you guys think of this game? Do you guys think it's something to look forward for? Because I heard the last one wasn't too amazing. So do you guys think that this will be kind of like up to par with the original Tomb Raiders?
What do you think, Dane?
Yeah, I think these games have been consistently great.
Yeah.
People love them. They really are filling that Uncharted gap kind of thing with the different protagonists. It's, when you go back and play the old games, they're so weird and cheesy. Like I do appreciate these new ones.
Yeah.
And they're smooth. The story's good. I just feel like they won't always be great, but I feel like this franchise, as long as it stays in the same hands, will always be good.
And I think there's a lot of elements of stealth in this one. I mean, before this, they've always had element of stealth, but it seems like they really want to kind of emphasize that on this one as well, because you're seeing a lot of like stealth kills even in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean it's similar combat to sort of like Uncharted, where it's like
Uncharted
stealth in
4,
some,
right?
and then heavy action in others, big set pieces, gruesome deaths. We need our equal representation. Women need to die in excruciating ways in video games as well.
That's nice. That's
true.
nice.
So yeah, I just trust these developers to keep doing what they do.
All right, good enough. Okay, anything else you want to add?
Nothing much. I think we'll see what Square Enix brings. But even if they don't show anything about Shadow of Tomb Raider, I think the Microsoft one did good justice to the game.
All right. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about the FF7 remake, which is what you have been really hyped about. And honestly, I really think that the FF7 will be making it here because they already got Kingdom Hearts out of the way. Because Kingdom Hearts was like the one of the
it was
big
the big
ones.
one, right? Everyone
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, finally Kingdom Hearts finally get a release date
Yep.
and everything."
And the
then,
thing is, the release date was very disappointing to me because it was a day or two before E3. I'm not disappointed. I'm just saying it was surprising. That's
Yeah,
right,
they
word.
just
it
put
was
it out.
surprising.
It was put it out, like-
yeah. So that means
see, this kind of things
Yeah.
when they put things, big announcements out
Yeah.
before their own press con,
Yeah.
it feels like they have something up their sleeve.
exactly the reason that they're just trying to make space, trying to clear up time for other things.
A
Okay.
kid just mentioned, heard they would add Big Hero,
Hero
6.
maybe?
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yep, that's actually true. That's actually true. All right. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the comments here. Real quick, let's see. Victor Ang Kai Juan. Is that how Juan? I'm expecting some things about Swan about Hitman 2. Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
I think that's already pretty much. In there. All right. So FF7. So obviously they're following like the main story from like the game back then,
Yeah.
which I like about the remake is that it gives like everyone talks about it like, oh, this is the most iconic game of Final Fantasy, but a lot of people can't play it because number one, the graphics, people nowadays they don't really care for those kind of graphics. They just play for a little bit like we can't do it because the graphics are bad. And number two is because a lot of people they just prefer playing games that look more polished and stuff like that. Now that they're doing this, a lot of people can actually appreciate the game better. And for us who grew up with the PlayStation 1 and stuff, we can see like, oh my god, this is how it looks like if they were actually humans and not some little 2D tiny characters.
I think that's a little bit over exaggerated. I think people won't mind that bad graphics so much. Look at games like oh my god, I can't think of that name right now. Telltale's no the
Telltales.
Minecraft.
no I mean, Minecraft is one that like you can see graphics not main
They're
thing.
not
Right?
remaking Minecraft.
They're not remaking Minecraft.
There's
but
actually Telltale Minecraft.
Telltale's
There is, yeah. Story
Yeah.
mode.
Yeah, but I forgot the game. But I think people they just want to play games that good. Like I don't think graphics would be that big of a factor. Like nowadays, you still see people play PS1 games and PS2 games. They put it on PC because they just like the feel of it. I think if FF7 does come back with this remake, and they show anything, it's all about the story. It's all about how how they can just rejuvenate the whole title series, bringing back to the
just
fanboys like Dane.
hoping like
Hang on a
they
minute.
don't really change the story too much.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
I just follow exactly, that would be perfect.
But then if they do that,
What's the point?
this is the challenge of remakes of really iconic games.
Mm.
It's like you either A, take more license, you know,
Yeah,
mix it up a bit and take
Yeah.
a new chapter, which everyone will hate,
yeah.
or you do the exact same thing,
Mm-hmm.
which some people will hate.
Actually, to me, I feel like this one it's fine because you know it's totally new graphics altogether. People, I think most things that I think people would really appreciate opposed to the old 557 and this one is the eye candy fight scenes.
That's true.
Like at Advent Children, even though it wasn't really a great movie, but everyone was like, "Oh my god, look at the combat!" You know,
Evan Children,
Yeah.
not a great movie, but a great
They
Final
had-
Fantasy cinematic. That fight with Bahamut
exactly,
was awesome.
exactly. So when we see this, we're like, "Oh, we can expect some really, really cool
Mhm.
looking things," you know. Which, as I said, you know, it okay. Of course, story wise, graphics wise, it doesn't really bother people.
Mm.
But to see some those things transformed into something a lot more,
It gives
awesome.
them a good nostalgic feeling and
Yeah.
seeing like finally how beautiful the game they really love truly is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful already.
Yeah.
To be honest, like I don't see too much value in these remakes unless it's like Super Nintendo way back.
Yeah.
If you can't enjoy Final Fantasy VII as it is now, I wouldn't think that this would change your perspective too much.
Actually, personally, for me, when I played the game a long time ago, I actually enjoyed it when I was a
Yeah.
child.
Oh,
And I picked it up again recently. I was like, oh, these graphics are like this. It was like different in my head for some reason. I'm just like, okay, you know,
Yeah,
I
sure,
just
sure.
really
I
see
mean,
this.
we'll see.
done.
We'll see. We'll have to see.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have Just Cause 4. We already saw this at Microsoft.
Soft, yes.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think will be shown extra for this one?
I think it won't be shown much actually, because
more gameplay.
more gameplay of it. That's about it. But I feel like Square Enix would go a different direction to show more of their own different games.
I'm really hoping it'll be a lot more wacky, like what Bethesda was
Yeah.
offering us when Rage 2 was really disappointing.
Yeah.
So really, this game is known to be wacky, a little bit crazy, over the top, and
Specifically in the multiplayer, there's a very healthy modding community for this game that makes them. You can race like ocean liner ships down a mountain. So I would feel that what they show off Square Enix probably some multiplayer gameplay where it gets a bit more wacky.
yeah. So like for me personally, I've never played Just Cause. So why don't you just tell me a little bit like what exactly is Just Cause?
I mean, I've only played the multiplayer, but the best I can describe it is like just wacky chaos. The key aspect of it is the that grappling hook, how you can just like hook onto a plane
And just
then,
go
you
shoot
know,
up.
wingsuit
Yeah.
down. And you can do it. It's the kind of game where you could just jump in with just you and your friend to a server and just try and do wacky stuff.
Okay,
Set in
so
Southeast Asia.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Just Cause 2 apparently we just found out that it will be set in Southeast
It
Asia.
was.
Oh, it
set
was.
in-
It was set in Southeast
Asia.
Asia. Okay. Singaporean accent. Okay. That's interesting. All right. So, Just Cause 4, I actually really want to try this just because you guys say it's really wacky and crazy. I love these kind of games.
Yeah, nowadays a lot of people, us gamers, we just don't like so many serious things. We just want fun things.
I
just
think it's the kind of game where you're just stressed out at work. You come home, you just turn it on, just like bash and just crash things. Just like, oh.
Are
that
you
felt
stressed
good.
out at work, Crash?
She seems a bit stressed out.
A bit stressed out. That's
Yeah.
alright.
Only
Let's
because
move
I
on.
haven't had enough sleep. Okay, so next up we have the Untitled Avengers title. Okay, this is a little bit like surprising to me. I wouldn't have thought Square Enix would pick this up. But the thing is, I don't really follow Avengers. I need you guys to help me lead this one.
I think Square Enix would do a good job. You know, they have good track record in sort of platform. Dane, what do you think?
Well, it's the inevitable Marvel appearance at
Yeah.
E3. It had to happen. I think that this was last year. They confirmed 2 projects
Yeah.
coming
Alright.
up with Marvel.
Right?
I really have no idea.
That's why it's the untitled, because we don't even know the title.
Yeah, I don't know what approach they're going to take. Is it going to be like I always assume it'd be Telltale that would be the ones who would handle this kind of thing best.
yeah.
I'm not sure how that Batman series they did went. If not sure if it was
It
love, but
was okay.
It was not bad, but it wasn't one of their better ones. But I heard from Telltale their Guardians of the Galaxy did a lot better.
right,
Yeah.
right.
But the thing is about the Untitled Avengers project is by Crystal Dynamics, and there's rumors that it is Destiny-style service game.
Okay, that's interesting. There's so many. Like, if you look at like, I wonder if it's going to be like DC
DC.
Universe Online, where it's like you pick a character and you play like you in the form of your favorite hero, like they're
Okay.
a class. It
Right.
could go
Ah.
so many different directions, really.
It would be
Yeah,
quite
let's see.
interesting to see what kind of goals. Could it be multiplayer or it could be single player? Everything. I mean, they have the world to in their hands basically, and see what they can go for.
Okay,
They have the world in their hands.
Okay, but while we're here already, I'd like to add one more small thing, which is the Untitled Guardian of the Galaxy project, like we just talked about earlier.
Mhm.
And this is by Eidos Montreal. Okay, so this is like the second Marvel project from the partnership, and it's already confirmed that they're working on it. But there's very little information about the game. So what do you guys think of them kind of like, having like a little grasp on the Guardians of the Galaxy universe?
Could be them like starting to build their own universe in Square Enix start to build their own base from it, and then maybe from these two games it could just build onto more. Square Enix has really good track records, like I said before, with platformers, and if they do a good job, no reason for Marvel to just keep on giving them a license and build the world even further.
Okay, so anything to add, Dane?
Good luck to him working with a Marvel license. It's obviously super restrictive because there's big consequences to the law, and your game has to line up with their movie plan for the next 20 years.
All right.
So I'd be interested to see how much freedom they have.
Okay, so another game that people thought was gonna come out was gonna be Life is Strange 2, but it wasn't Life is Strange 2. It was the same people from the same company. It was Don't Nod, and it is the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Yeah.
Captain
Okay,
Spirit.
so I saw this trailer, and first thing I thought was, okay, this is definitely going to be Life is Strange 2. Look at the graphics, they maintained it and all. But suddenly we see this kid, and I was confused for a second, and I was like, who is this kid? Is this someone's? They kept a lot of the aesthetics from Life is Strange for sure. Like you look at it, if you look at one glance, you're like, oh, this is Life is Strange. From the drawings, the little doodles, the character models. You can actually tell this is just a Don't Nod kind of like signature for these kind of like games. But instead of getting Chloe and Max, you get this little kid, and we don't really know much about him other than him and his dad.
Yeah. So when I saw the trailer of it, we didn't really see. I don't think we saw any gameplay. It was just a trailer.
It was just a trailer,
and
yes.
If you saw him, it's just a really upbeat guy, and
Yeah.
we know from Life is Strange the story isn't that straightforward, right?
Yeah, it's
and
not.
It felt too upbeat for my liking. It's like, where's the twist? Where's the twist? I was waiting for this twist, and you can see, he's trying to be a superhero.
Yeah.
And we sort of know that he lost his mom because he said
Yeah.
he missed his mom's smile, and they put it in the same universe as Life is Strange. Now
Yep,
this
that's right.
this tells me that maybe Max's, like at the end of the game, maybe Max's like the destruction of the town, or whatever they
A
go with,
butterfly
effect could
Yeah.
just happen, and just connect both games. But it's just way too positive for me. Like something has to go
Way
wrong somewhere.
too positive.
It's too positive.
That was
vibes.
going to be my line.
It's too positive vibes.
Oh my
I
god!
mean-
I thought you were a positive vibes guy.
I mean, for me, seeing that, like the kid in his head kind of like believes that he has a superpower, What if, this is just a crazy like speculation, but what if the kid, he kind of like does have a power because of it? Like, but the thing is, like, even if I want to say he does have a power, what if it's all in his head?
Positivity is a superpower, Tash.
Okay, whatever, man. But yeah, really eager to see this. Can't wait to see. Can't wait to see that.
And
Obviously,
it's free.
And it's free. Oh yeah, it is gonna be free, 100% free in the month of June, if I'm not mistaken.
June 26th.
June 26th.
This
All
month?
right.
It's this month.
Yes, it is this month. I'm really eager. Okay, next up we have Octopath Traveler. Okay, this one I actually know nothing about the game.
Weebs Unite. This is an interesting one because when they said Square Enix was working on like a brand new JRPG, everyone was excited.
Mm-hmm.
Then we found out it's a Switch exclusive, which makes
Even more.
some people very excited.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the rest of us, well, okay. But whenever Square Enix and JRPG go together, the results are usually pretty
Positive?
good
Really
Positive.
awesome.
for their own audience. And this
Yeah.
does look beautiful. It looks perfect for
I
their
like
Switch. And
seeing the graphics. It
Mm.
reminds me of those games back in the PlayStation 2 days,
Mhm.
Like you just actually enjoy it. Actually, it does have the what's the game? Golden Sun kind of vibe?
Actually,
a little
that's,
bit?
I don't know. I want to ask you guys, does it feel like a little bit of Final Fantasy, kind of the older version of the game?
like
kind of?
tactics.
Tactics?
Yeah, tactics.
Yeah.
Oh, it does actually. Yeah, it
Like
does.
you walk around and then you see the battle, the gameplay. It sort of feels like turn-based. The UI is all the same as well.
I love how they do the animation, this watercolor, sketch-looking thing. I love seeing that. I really want to know more about it. That'll be really awesome. But let me ask you guys something. Will this game be the game that people go, hey, Like, just like how Breath of the Wild was the reason why people bought Switch. Would this game be also another reason people want to buy a Switch?
I think there's really a lot of reasons for people to buy a Switch. I don't think this would make people want to buy a Switch, but it would be a nice add, nice addition to their Switch.
Seeing this in the eShop will help you feel better about that $600 transaction on your credit card. Where it's like, oh, well, I can play this now.
Yeah.
But I don't think this will sell consoles. It's not to the level of Breath of the Wild.
That's true.
I get it. I get it because of that. Because it looks really good.
Yeah.
But anyways,
it's a nice fluff game to play, but I don't think people purposely buy. It's not like Halo where people buy an Xbox to play Halo.
I think it's more of like there's a lot of games that are cool for a Switch.
Yeah.
I want to play it, but I don't have a Switch. But this game comes out, you're like, okay, you know what? There's more games now. Definitely a reason why I should get a Switch now.
It's a fluff. It's a fluff.
Another thing. Okay, thank you so much, Matt.
Oh my God! Is it
Thank
time?
you so much,
Yeah,
Matt.
It's time. It's time.
Get the hell out of here.
We're bringing in our expert for Ubisoft.
Oh my
it's
God.
Sam.
It's
Hello,
I can't
people.
wait to see the negativity that comes from this guy.
Brooding hatred.
Okay,
people.
before we start anything, let's catch up with the comments. Okay, Victor Ang Kai Xuan says, I say it still matters, just that people hate it when developers seem to prioritize graphics over gameplay polish, which I actually agree. And also, Victor Ang Kai Xuan, I hear you. I see how to pronounce your name now. And then also we have a Victor Ang Kai Xuan saying, hot Latino man causes mass chaos is how I describe Just Cause. Good. Very good way to describe
from
the
the-
game. Wait, hang on. Guys, do you guys think that was a good way to describe it? Yes? Yes? Okay, we have a yes from all the office. Good job, good job. Okay, next up, now we're going to go to Ubisoft. This is our big expert. He's already smiling. He's really excited.
Ubisoft expert here.
Usually he's very negative. If he's very positive here, I would be shocked.
I will. I love you, Ubisoft.
Okay, so now before we jump into anything, I want to see kind of a rating for you guys. What can we expect from Ubisoft? What are you gonna rate Ubisoft?
I would give it I expect an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
The conference out of them.
Okay.
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay, what about you, Dane?
I've been going 9 for everything, but for
that's
this,
true.
I'm gonna go like a 2.
What?
Mr.
Mr. Negative is on this side now.
Well, I gotta. What's he doing being positive? I gotta balance it out.
Just take this for a second. Dane voted 9 out of 10 for EA. Just
I was
leaving it out there. Just leaving it
Pleasantly
out
proved wrong by the EA on that one. No, I don't know. Ubisoft is like, they seem to pull the same tricks every year. Everything looks good. The
there.
release
Things
is
are different now,
broken.
Dane.
We get disappointed, and then we look forward to the next one.
Good enough.
People change.
People change. Yeah.
Company
Okay.
change.
Okay, good enough. Okay, first up we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was actually memed by everyone with a Mario hat and the logo
It was memed by
Odyssey.
It was me by
That
IGN.
damn IGN.
Yeah. Okay, and it was actually a meme for a little while. What can we expect to see from Assassin's Creed Odyssey? There was a little bit of a leak. Why don't you tell me what the leak was?
Right. So I didn't dive too deep into the leak. I've only seen a few because I don't want to ruin the surprise for myself. But
Okay.
apparently it's in Greek now.
Greece, okay.
Greece now.
It's in Greek,
So I'm sure there's
not in English.
I'm sure there's a little bit of God of War hints here and there.
Okay.
I think there will be some Easter eggs about Kratos here and there. I think that would be fun.
What?
What? It's Greek.
Uh,
Greece. It's Greece.
okay.
But okay,
Okay.
anyway, about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, to me it does look a little bit actually it looks a lot like Origins, which
Okay.
I did not finish because I don't know, something about it. I love the game, just I couldn't finish it. It's probably a
Okay.
bit-
Do you think that this will be an open world game?
obviously.
It's an
It's-
Assassin's
it's
Creed
an
game.
Who
Assassin's
Assassin's
knows?
Creed
Creed
It
is
might,
open
it
world.
might have changed. I don't know. But
We've
then again,
That would
innovated our
be
games to
5
be
steps
linear.
okay, good enough, good enough.
It will be an open world.
Okay, open world. But other than that, do you think that it would keep because it's kind of like moving into a different era, I guess you want to
Mhm.
say it. Do you think that the Assassins will be something a little bit different than the traditional Assassin's Creed that you always see and love?
The last
Like-
one was the biggest departure, right, from
Yeah,
the traditional.
It's not like a super full on Assassin anymore. It's sort of like they kind of break away from what Assassins were. So
Okay.
I think it's following the footstep of what makes Origin great.
Right.
But I hope they don't repeat that in future upcoming games.
Okay.
It
yeah.
makes it great, but you hope they don't
Yeah,
repeat
because
it.
it's like you make one thing great and then you repeat it.
Yeah,
like,
not
10
not
games.
something you want to
Ubisoft,
repetitive.
that's their
Yeah, that's why I
that's
just
then
hope
their
they don't do that.
mission plan.
I don't know why, but I have a feeling that Assassin's Creed, even though it's gonna be in like a different, setting of time and stuff, it's still gonna be, you're gonna see it's like, oh right, Assassin's Creed, the same thing over and over again.
Yeah,
Like kind
that's-
of look at like Division 2,
Yeah.
Division 1, you saw it, you're like, oh, it looks just like Division 1.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. That's what I'm expecting though. Okay,
Mm.
next up, we are here already. Let's talk about Division 2. Okay, I absolutely know nothing about the game, but I've been hearing people say it looks just like Division 1. You go in, you see the same UI, everything the same. What do you guys think?
It looks good. I mean,
Yeah.
the gameplay that they showed looks nice. They did the cringy scripted MMO chat.
I hated
Yeah,
that.
I
it's
hate
like,
when they
oh,
do
we
that.
have
I
look
wish
here,
they would stop
guys.
me.
I
let's do it
thought
together.
it was the in-game, the in-game
Yeah, like-
conversations
yeah, it
itself.
felt like that.
Yeah, and then suddenly someone told me like, no, that's not. That's actually just people role playing, and I was like, why do people do that? It's so awkward.
Yeah. Also, it wouldn't be that hard to just get people to communicate authentically. Just get a couple of people to play and talk. But honestly, the gameplay looked good. Division 1,
Yeah, it felt
people say
like-
it's good after all the expansions,
Yeah.
but it was a bit iffy on launch.
Iffy on launch. Okay, why was it iffy on launch?
Well, because it's an online game.
Ah,
Therefore,
okay.
it must have issues on launch. That's just how it is.
The
But I
graph-
feel like it's pretty. It looks
It-
really
yeah, so I was
good.
about to say that.
It's not like something about Ubisoft. They always go from like city and then to like
a jungle.
a jungle.
It looks a bit more
Yeah.
vibrant this time when he gets out into like the sunlight.
Yeah.
Do you guys know where the setting of this one is?
DC, right?
Washington, yeah.
Yeah,
Washington.
Washington, DC.
There's a jungle in DC.
well, there
Pretty
is
sure there's jungle.
There's a jungle in
post-apocalypse.
DC.
I don't think it's jungle. It's more like it looks like a
It's
museum.
overgrowth.
I
Yeah.
think it might be like a park or something like that. Who
Yeah,
knows?
probably.
But what do you guys have to act? I don't really want to comment too much on this because I don't want to say something that I don't really know. But do you think it's a yay or a nay for you guys for this one?
I think I will pick it up. I missed out on the first one
Mm.
because I didn't have friends to play with.
You don't have friends.
I have
period.
friends, but they don't want to pay for the
He
game.
doesn't
But
have any
Okay,
friends.
But
good
now
enough,
I
good
have-
enough.
I have richer friends. I hope they can, because all of us started working already. So yeah,
Wait, hang on.
please
Are you guys rich? No. I
rich enough to buy a copy at least.
That's an interesting way of looking at
Dean,
it,
are
Sam.
you rich?
I need rich
Are you
friends.
his
I don't have
friend?
$1 to my name. I'm living on rags. No, this game, like, I'll give it a chance because Destiny 1 obviously had a lot of flaws, but
Mm.
it's weird. You know, PC
Destiny
MMOs go
1?
for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, Destiny 1. No, same thing. Division 1. Hopefully they've just learned their mistakes and will put out a
Yeah.
better game. And I think people will respond a bit better to this one.
Yeah, it looks,
Alright.
I mean, it does look fun.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I love the
gameplay
UI, like
looked
the map
fun.
thing. I'm
I
sure
think
it
it
was
looks
in the
really
first
cool.
game, but it still looks.
If it still looks
New.
like this on release, then
Yeah,
good for them. I doubt it will.
Yeah.
I doubt it will, but
Yeah.
it will look somewhat like this. I hope.
All right, now before we move on to the next one, we have comments to catch up on. We have Amergun. Graphics is important, man. I actually agree with you. I do like games with a better
Gameplay
graphics.
is king.
Yeah,
I mean,
gameplay is
personally
always
for
king.
me, I think that graphics, despite it doesn't have to be high and low end, so long as it's done right and it fits the narrative, it's all
Aesthetically-
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
correct.
Ori and the Blind Forest. something
yeah.
like that.
Ori
Yeah,
and the Blind
yeah,
Forest.
it's beautiful, but I still love the gameplay.
I mean, look
more.
at Undertale. Undertale
Sure.
is
Yeah.
amazing, and it's just a simple 2D
Yeah.
game. As I said, it just has to be done right.
Yeah, it just has to fit the
Yeah.
game.
Yep. Okay, I have Ralph Rookie. It's my boyfriend. Hello. They said hi to the colleagues as
G'day.
well.
Hello,
Good day.
Tasha's boyfriend.
We saw. And then we have Victor Angkaishwan. Ha ha ha, Dane.
What's so funny
Thanks,
about
mate.
Dane?
Appreciate the
Dane.
support.
Is Dane
Okay.
that funny?
Yes.
I think you're just looking at him is just funny. Okay, next up we have Skull and Bones. Do you guys think this is going to be another Sea of Thieves? Okay, we all know Sea of Thieves kind of was like a thing for like a week, and then it became nothing, and then now they have like some updates out. What do you guys think?
I think it won't be another Sea of Thieves because let's be honest here, Sea of Thieves it felt rushed to me. Sea of Thieves felt very rushed to me for some reason, but this one they seem to be taking the time. They seem to be taking cue from what makes Black Flag the naval combat fun.
Yeah.
And make it into like a full-fledged game.
Yeah, to me this game looks really nice. A lot nicer than Sea of Thieves. Of course, this one is a lot more polished and it's very I would like to see it kind of has like a Pirates of the Caribbean kind of feel
Yeah,
to
a
it.
little bit. A little
It's
bit.
like kind of like eye candy. And when you see that map at the bottom there, it kind of actually reminds me of this old JRPG called. It was from Konami. I think it was called. I can't remember what it was, but it reminded me of that because of the map
Castlevania?
down there. No, it wasn't.
I don't know. I don't play JRPG.
Suikoden.
Oh, Suikoden.
Suikoden,
Yeah.
Oh man, this is such a long game. But what are your expectations for this? I don't really I guess this is like kind of like the same concept of
Sea of Thieves?
Sea of Thieves.
No way, but this is clearly going to focus on multiplayer, I think. I think
Yeah.
what they did here was they're like, okay, everyone loved Black Flag because of the
Combat.
it was
sea
the
combat.
no one realized how much they loved having a ship
Yeah.
and doing all this stuff until you got to play it. Like, this is so fun. So our friends at Ubisoft Singapore handled this one. If you got burnt by Sea of Thieves, I have no sympathy for you because there's clearly no content in that game.
Yeah.
This one I think will be very multiplayer focused, or at
Yeah.
least like you'll run into ships, online passively like you do in Sea of Thieves. But
I just don't want this game to be repetitive. I understand that'll be like a
I'm
lot
sure
of
it will.
content.
it will be.
Yeah, but the
Sure
thing
it
is,
will.
repetitive is fine. But
Yeah.
will the repetitiveness feel like a chore? Like when you turn on this game, oh, this again, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Like,
Yeah, probably. But from playing Black Flag alone, it felt like I just want to explore the sea and like fight.
Yeah,
all
it's
the other
disappointing
people.
anytime you have to do assassin stuff
Yeah,
in that
it's like,
game.
oh,
Just
no,
get back to my
Assassin's Creed
ship.
stuff. Yeah, I want to
So-
go back to my ship.
so basically, you were more comparing this game rather than to Sea of Thieves. It's more like Black Flag than anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would play this. I would love to have friends to play with. Please.
It's very sad.
Yeah, it's
Very
quite
sad
but
man.
Yeah, please pick this up. I think. Yeah, I really want to see when will this be released. I hope this year.
Yeah. Okay, so before we move on, we have another thing. We have some more comments coming in. Amir Gan says we can expect towers to climb. And then Victor Ang Kaishuan says Rainbow Six Siege. Okay, and
Rainbow
Leonard,
Six.
It's a good game.
We should play it. We should play
It's a
it.
good
Dane
game. Let's play it.
deleted the game.
why
because
do
it
you
was too
act
hardcore.
like
I refunded it.
everyone has money to buy all these games?
It's on sale. It's always on sale on Steam. just buy it.
Okay, another one. Lennerson Raphael Baloy, Just Dance as usual. He was actually spamming this in the beginning. Like, just dance, just dance, just dance.
I've never played Just
Okay,
Dance, but
Okay. So while we're on the topic, do you guys think there will be a new Just Dance?
Yes.
yeah, for like
Yes.
I'm sure there's a market for it. Like, what
Listen,
these
Every
guys
Lennerson.
damn
Okay,
year.
I went to the Philippines, the Pinoy Gaming Festival. There was one
Pinoy
little
Pride.
area in the back there, and everyone was just doing Just Dance. They have a really big community for Just Dance there. Okay, so I think it's gonna be pretty huge.
Crazy.
Because like the Pinoys do a lot of karaoke as well, right? So I'm sure Just
I mean,
Dance-
Malaysians do too. I bet
I
you
don't
go
know.
karaoke
if
and stuff
I went
all the
to
time.
Philippines and like every corner is like someone karaokeing.
You
Which-
you
yeah.
clearly have not been to Wangsa Maju then.
Probably not.
That's
I
a
have,
lot.
But I've never
That's a
seen
lot of
anyone.
karaoke areas. Whoops. Okay, next up we also have Victor Angkai Shuan again. I'd play for an Assassin's Creed solely and entirely in ancient
in
Greek.
Greek.
I think
Ancient
Greek. Greece.
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 Sam gets words tied up in his head. We know what he meant. We know what he meant.
Okay. All right. Now, next up, I need to ask you guys, what do we know about Beyond Good and Evil 2? Okay, I get this confused with Evil
Two Souls.
Within. Evil Within for some reason.
Quite
Beyond
different.
Two Souls sounds more like something you will get confused.
No.
Not evil.
No.
Within.
No.
Right, so what do we know
No.
about this game?
It's a lot of animals with tattoos. They definitely look cooler than me. Really cool mustache.
This looks cooler.
This makes me hungry, honestly.
probably.
And then we have like Thanos looking gauntlet there without the Infinity Stones.
That was a little
It's a
pig.
glove.
Look,
glove.
it's funny because like you see when Bethesda launched a 4-second CG cinematic, everyone goes crazy. But after this, everyone's super skeptical. Like, oh well, we've only seen cinematics.
Yeah.
So it's the perfect time now for them to show some gameplay this year.
Yeah.
They
Because
did,
at the
they did
moment-
show a bit gameplay, like a very alpha
Did
build.
they? I just remembered
Yeah,
this.
super alpha
I
build.
just
I don't know
remembered
why,
this.
but the part where the thing came out of the eye, and they got mad, kind of reminds me of that time in like what do you call that game? Tales from the Borderlands when they were doing
Oh,
the
yeah.
transaction. It reminds me exactly of that, But this game, I don't know anything about it. Like, it's just a cinematic.
So let me educate you
Okay.
about this game. Alright, so it's a prequel.
Educate.
Have you played the first one?
No, I haven't.
Right, so it's a prequel to the first one.
Okay.
It made people a bit sad because the first game is like sort of like a cliffhanger.
Oh, it
So-
was.
So they made like a, I don't know why they just went with a prequel, but
Okay.
apparently it's to, bring newcomers in because not a lot of people played the first one. I think I
Right.
didn't play as well, but I just know my stuff. So yeah, so this is like a prequel. So
Yeah.
what you're seeing here are like they're animals, but they are space pirates.
Space pirate
Yeah, there's
animals. Sounds
Space
good.
pirates. So you can like the first game you
Yeah.
followed this girl named Jade.
Right.
Like this, but this one you get to create your own space pirate.
Really?
Yeah, so you can be like whichever one. Like you
I
can be like a
can
monkey, you
be
can be a shark.
a gorilla, and I'm gonna name it Harambe.
He died.
Too soon.
It's
5
so
years
soon.
too soon.
He died.
But no, seriously though, the graphics in this game look really amazing. I don't know if it's a lot different than the first one or not.
I'm pretty sure the
First one was like PS1,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Oh, really?
PS2?
It didn't
It
look
was
like this.
15 years ago. Yeah, it was
Oh.
15 years ago, 2003.
Oh, that's a long
Yeah,
time
that's
ago.
a very
Okay,
long
then
time.
definitely it is about time this came out, and I'm really hoping it does come out. Oh, for sure. Okay, next up we have the Splinter Cell new title. What do you guys think? Splinter Cell is a really old title as far as I know.
Yeah, it's an old title. It has been going on for a while. But
Yeah.
the last entry was 5 years ago.
Yeah,
which
it's quite a while.
it's about time they should release something.
Yeah.
Just something for the
Right.
fans.
Bit more competition in that market now. The whole like stealth
Yeah.
mission shooter kind of thing, and
But you
all of
don't
those
get-
games have swung towards competitive multiplayer rather than
Yeah.
single player.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the last one did have a little bit of multiplayer.
Hmm.
But I don't know, it just feels like there's not a lot of games like Splinter Cell. Like Hitman is like a stealthy game, but it's not at the fast pace like Splinter Cell.
Do you guys want to know a secret?
Sure.
The
Never
only what?
You never played Splinter Cell?
I mean, it's not that. I played it, but it was on mobile. I can remember back
Wha-
when the Motorola phones were out,
Oh,
and it was on like the
Those
mobile
gimmicky
phone.
little
Yeah, it
oh, like
was.
the 5 ringgit game you buy from.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That
okay.
was the
Well,
one.
then you
I
basically played it.
It's like you buy from the magazine 5 ringgit for a game.
That's the one I played.
My
But this
goodness.
one looks really good. It reminds me of yeah, this one. Yeah, this is the old one, and it reminds me of a game from
Metal
Ubisoft
Gear,
itself. No, it wasn't that. I can't remember right now. Like, I think my brain is just also overloaded with coffee. It's just like
But yeah, I think they should make another Splinter Cell.
what I really
Just-
hope
just show us
keep
something.
they keep in this is this part right here. You see
Mm.
the stealth here? It looks
Mm.
really good. Maybe just fix out the bugs here and there. But I'd like them to maintain what made Splinter Cell Splinter Cell. You know what I'm trying to say? Not too
Yeah.
much changes. Just keep it as it is, and I think they would be doing really fine.
Yeah, but to change a game is not easy as well. Like
Yeah.
like this game, like as we're watching this, what's it called? Blacklist.
yeah.
Like they just changed like this character's voice actor, and then everyone like got pissed off.
Freaked out.
That's usually the case because
Just chill out.
like no obviously to me I hate it when people do that because
Yeah.
it made a character a character. When you change something, people are gonna notice it. People are gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so confused and scared. What happened?"
What's this
At
guy's
least you
name?
get
Is
a
this
new
Sam
game.
Fisher?
Sam
Which one is
Fisher.
it? Yeah.
Sam
Okay.
Fisher.
That makes
Um,
sense.
Never mind. I
Never
completely
mind.
forgot what I was gonna say there.
Okay, so next up we're gonna talk about a game that definitely redeemed itself from the first one, which is Watch Dogs. So we're gonna go for Watch Dogs 3, but then again, people are saying that it might be very, very unlikely since the game is actually still pretty recent.
Yeah, it's a bit too soon
Yeah.
for a third entry.
But
Mind
it'll be-
you, Ubisoft not one to slow down on dev
Yeah.
cycles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they should, I think. Like the second
They
one
definitely should.
redeem itself because the first one was,
The
horribly
first one was
received.
awful. Like
Yeah.
I played it a little bit and then I just got really annoyed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I just gave up on it. And then suddenly everyone's saying you should get number 2 because they actually learned from their lesson and actually made it really, really good. But I
Yeah.
haven't tried it yet. What do you guys think would be in Watch Dogs 3?
I think because I don't think they'll do a Watch Dogs 3 so soon because the second one didn't sell so well.
Mm.
Although it was received well, but it wasn't
Damaged
so
brand.
Like it was already damaged. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
burned from the first one.
Okay.
I'm not gonna trust you anymore.
Okay.
But even if they do the third one, I think they should keep to the same character, Marcus, from the second game.
Yep.
Just because I don't know, it feels a bit more millennial. Like people can, what is this?
I know.
Like, People would be interested in this character more than the first one, Aiden Pierce. Because let's be honest, the first game, the guy was very boring. He was very
Yeah.
bland.
Yeah. Okay, so let's check out the comments first. We have American Clan Wars baby. I'm guessing this is for
It'll be for Black Flag. I
Black
would think.
Flag.
Mm,
Okay, and then after that we have Victor Ang Kaishuan again. Okay, we already read this one. And then we have Guardian Nala Hearth Arerbach. Good evening, Tash Bunny. Yo, what's up, my dude? I think you should say good evening to everyone here because they are here as well. So he said good evening to you guys. Okay,
Good evening. It's night.
good enough. Okay, Kamalia Aziz, Assassin's Creed in Greece is exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It is. I
Yes.
just want to explore Greece a little bit more, not just in like God of War, but in Ubisoft. The
Okay.
Greek.
Learn some
Greek.
Greek.
Learn
Okay.
some Greek.
Kill someone at the Pantheon.
Okay. And then we also have here from Guardian Nala again, who is giving us a Tagalog kind of like lesson, I guess. Maganda gabi means good evening.
Is it?
Okay, good enough. And then finally, Victor Ankaishwan. Assassin's Creed needs to reinvent itself constantly to garner attention, which only gets harder to pull off.
That's true.
That's true. That's quite true.
Okay, so now that we're here, Dane, thank you very much for joining us for this Ubisoft session.
My pleasure, mate.
Mate. Right. So before we end this, I just want to say, Ubisoft, please show us like a little bit of Prince of Persia. Just a bit. Just a bit, like a 5-second teaser trailer. I'll be happy. Because it's been 8 years and I've been waiting for it.
Okay, so Dane, I'll see you later. Freda, welcome back to Susie Panel. Susie Panel. What?
Susie panel.
Am I out? Am I out?
No, yeah. Yes? Yes. Oh, sorry, Sam. I'm kicking you off too.
Prince of Persia, please.
Get
Please,
out of
please.
here. All right, we have the two heavyweights. It doesn't mean what you think it is.
Heavyweight? Oh,
The
wow.
two
Where did that
heavyweights
come
of
from?
the studio here with their IGN shirts. I feel like I'm being like kind of like stuck by like the crazy guys, which are gonna yell over me and say that was wrong.
That's okay. I mean, it's better than the two negative no-nos just now, right?
Good enough. Good enough. Okay, so now we are at the best part, which is Sony.
Oh,
Everyone is crazy about this. There's a lot of not leaks. You know what? Sony doesn't have to leak. Sony themselves leak things. They're like, you
A
know,
lot of things
yeah,
they
you know,
did.
they leaked everything because you know what? They're cocky. They're like, we are gonna give you a really good show this year, and it doesn't matter if we leak. You're gonna get hyped anyways. You're gonna come here and you're gonna get hyped, and you're gonna get even more hyped after.
And you're gonna
So-
love every single second of everything they show.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
That's exactly.
Let's hope that it's gonna be good.
Let's
hope.
hope.
Okay,
Let's
I
hope.
have a
something
feeling
good.
like this year the bar has been set a little bit high. After Microsoft, everyone thought that Sony has this in the bag. That's the only thing that can save E3. That's what everyone's saying. And suddenly
Save
Microsoft
E3.
came in with like pop, 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 pop,
Yep.
50
And,
games.
and, and I
Non-stop.
think it's good because like Sony
Yeah.
had they have technically more than a day to prepare.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, once they see Microsoft, okay, all right, we're gonna change some stuff, we're gonna announce more stuff, maybe.
They're,
You know,
they're,
maybe
they're
we're-
gonna have to.
Yeah, they're gonna have to maybe rearrange a few things, get some more hype in certain parts.
Yeah, maybe some
Yeah.
originally paid DLC will now be free. Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Or
wink,
maybe
wink, Sony.
they can just go to the developer and be like, you know what, we need more content. This
Yes.
stuff was already on Microsoft. We're gonna just
Yeah, let's take out that red
then
band
give
trailer.
me-
Let's take
yeah,
out all this stuff.
give me all of that. We need to up. We need to go up, which
Yep.
is also another thing that's quite scary because that's why Microsoft, I think they had the best slot because they already had to show everything, which means that Sony now has to put in extra effort, has to bring in extra content because if not, their E3 show is gonna be like, oh, we already saw this.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite unlikely that they will allow themselves to fall to second place.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They performed so well. They've been so strong the past few years in E3s.
Yep.
It's time that they really bring out their big guns.
Yeah.
Because
But at
they
the same
know
time, they do have big guns.
They do,
They
yeah.
have what they call the Big Four.
the
Okay.
big four.
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
big four,
Of
and then
course.
after that they announced another 3 as well.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So the Big Four, I mean, if for those who are not aware, is actually Death Stranding, of course, by Hideo Kojima himself.
With his
The
own
one
studio, Kojima
where you
Studios.
kind of watch and think, whoa, what the heck was that? That
Yeah,
was so
it's like,
cool.
There's Norman
It's
Reedus.
been
There's a
like,
baby.
yeah.
There's a baby in Norman Reedus.
We
Where's
don't-
this going?
We know nothing about the game yet, as in the gameplay, whatever. We don't know. Hopefully, they will tell us what exactly is it. Is it RPG? Is it open world? Is it a shooter game? Is it a chess? I don't know. Yeah, just tell
Yeah.
us something.
Battle Royale.
Yep, yep.
And of course, we have Spider-Man,
Spooderman.
Ghost of
Spider-Man.
Tsushima, and The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay, I'm
Mm.
really looking forward to Last of Us Part 2, so can we leave that to the end? Thank you.
Oh, all right, all right.
Let's
Special,
talk
special
quickly
moment.
about. I mean, let's talk about it in order, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we will discuss about Death Stranding first.
Okay, so
Okay.
before we go in, we have Erwin Bantilan. Maraming salamat.
Maraming
guessing,
salamat, yeah.
Maraming salamat. I'm guessing salamat. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
okay.
okay.
You're most welcome.
Okay. All right. So first up, we have the big four. We already talked about it. So let's go with Death Stranding first. We already
Hmm.
saw one trailer and Two.
Well, two actually.
Two trailers, and each trailer gets more and more cool. And there was
confusing.
and confusing. Like even Mads Mikkelsen himself says that he doesn't really know much. He works on it, but he doesn't really understand what's going on.
The only thing that he revealed is actually that this game require cooperation with players around the world, which is technically every online game. So we're not
Battle
too
Royale.
sure. No.
Could this be an online game? Could this be maybe something like a survival horror where
Could be
like
a co-op.
it could be a co-op, you know? Because like when you can see in the trailer, there's so many questions here. Like, who are these characters? What are they doing? Is this like, you know, a ragtag team of scientists?
Who are they
maybe,
facing?
Yeah, and maybe like the online aspect could be like, you know, there's some creatures, there's some hidden creatures that you can see. That flashing thing is
And
kind
they
of depicting
can't
it.
breathe apparently when they're
Yeah,
around.
it's like some Chinese ghosts and folklore kind of
Correct.
thing.
So it kind of depends on. I mean, we're not sure whether they are fighting aliens or demons or.
You
I
know,
don't know.
maybe something from the other side. We just don't know. We have no idea where this is. And the thing is, why is there even a baby? Basic question. Like, why is there a baby? You know?
And why is it placed in certain places that
And
you
like,
don't
why
expect?
is it not uterus? Was that
No.
umbilical cord?
Umbilical cord.
Yeah, like connected to the person
It's-
holding it. You know, that kind of thing.
I would say it's this. Everything here is just Kojima going nuts.
Yeah.
This is Hideo Kojima
Yeah.
unchained.
No longer Konami saying you need to do this. No, I can do everything that I
Everything.
want.
Sony
Anything.
enticed him. They're like, "Come here, you can do whatever you like." And he was like, "Yeah, man.
Okay,
I'ma
let's do a
it."
10-minute teaser and give you another 10 more minutes. Yeah.
He's gonna go like anything.
That's so creepy. And then you have this. Okay, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if anything weirder comes out. I'm hoping for at least a small gameplay.
I feel like this year is a big gift for them because they already teased for 2 years. They
Yeah.
have to show us gameplay.
They
If
have to.
not, at least some sort of explanation and even like a developer walkthrough.
Yep.
That would be
Yeah.
great because I think that they can't drag this forever. They can't tell us that, oh, this is actually a next gen game and you have to wait another 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't think it will work that way. Even
Yep.
if for someone like Kojima, he needs to deliver this year.
The thing
and
is,
now.
like Kojima has been tweeting
Yeah,
some pictures that he tweets out can be.
They're very vague pictures. Like the one that's mostly circulating around is just a picture of moss on rocks.
Yep, just like that.
So you know you gotta take what you can from that and just kind of second guess what this may mean and how
Yeah.
it ties into it.
Yep.
But I agree with Freddy. I mean, he can only pull this off so long, you know, because Kojima's the kind of guy that you know kind of enjoys pulling your finger
Yeah.
when it comes to his teasers and his games. I mean, he's done that many times with Metal Gear Solid. So now that he finally gets to play in his own way, in his own rules, completely with no control on him, I just love to see that at least he understands he's not going to over promise.
Yep.
You know, he's got to show something really substantial
Okay,
here.
but a quick one here. Assuming that they will show us gameplay,
Yeah.
and assuming that they will also announce the release date, how soon do you think we can get this game?
I think it'll be a long time. It's not going to be this year. I don't think it's going to be next year either. No offense. I'm just saying that Hideo Kojima is the type of person to put extra love and extra attention into his game. That's just how it is.
My guess is actually Q4 next year.
You think it's going to be next year?
Q3,
Okay.
Q4 next year earliest.
I'm kind of hoping it'll be around June, July next year.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I
Yeah.
don't think so. I really
got my
think
hopes
it's going to
up.
be the year after next.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I can think of. Not
Yeah.
because I'm saying that, you know, he's delaying everything, but just saying he just puts a lot of care
I
into
agree.
his work.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have Spider-Man. Okay,
Spider-Man,
Spider-Man was
Spider-Man.
actually teased last year and everyone was going crazy because the game was so beautiful. And
Yeah.
apparently the system will be added in will be the Arkham kind of style
It,
of
it looks to be the Arkham Batman combat kind of style and
Yeah.
movement,
Yep.
free roam as well. It's also made by the guys from Insomniac Games.
Yep.
yeah.
So these are the guys who made Ratchet and Clank. You can expect a lot of very fluid moments.
Good combat system.
Yep, that you can see in the trailer that's coming up here. They have this really nice element of, I guess the right way to say it for Spider-Man is elasticity.
Yeah,
when
he
it
looks
comes to
very
movement.
fluid.
Yeah.
He looks
Yep.
like actually Spider-Man. You know,
Yeah.
there's like a kind of like flow to his movement, which is fun. But the thing
Yep.
is, I'm really hoping that the combat doesn't just stay to this only.
Yep.
I'm hoping that over time you learn new skills, new ways
You
to kill
should be
people,
able to, yeah.
and that will be really really awesome. Also,
Yep.
another thing, now that the gameplay for this one is already revealed, we
Mm-hmm.
already saw some of the the stuff. What else can they show in regards to Spider-Man?
Yeah, because I
Well-
think they will show you what they can show you is actually the scale of the map, which
Mm.
actually gave you a good preview already.
Right.
Because are like in Arkham, you practically can like explore every area, and it's kind of like a parkour thing. But with Spider-Man, because you can sling around, right? This is like literally parkour on steroid.
Definitely.
You can do anything you want. You can maybe even climb onto the tower and jump onto a helicopter. Yeah, maybe even this one.
Yeah.
So we're not too sure whether you can do that, but at the same time, I believe that what's most important is that what story/plot are they going with? Because Spider-Man, as mentioned before, they have many universes, there's many versions, and we are here not in the Tom Holland version. This is I think if this version, I think he's around 20+ year old, he's a college student, and he's an intern, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes,
and what kind of story will we be getting, and what villain will be fighting?
Also, another thing to note is that, this one actually reminds me of the PlayStation 2 version of the game with, the open world stuff.
Yes.
You can actually,
you can travel around
you
the
can
city.
travel up. You can actually hitch a ride on the helicopters and stuff. It is possible, and I'm really hoping that this one looks exactly like that one, but definitely on steroids. It looks
Definitely
better.
on steroids. Much better, more options, more features, more deadlier enemies.
Of course, beautiful graphics.
And in terms of what kind of story this is, I'm not very, very well versed with all the Marvel Spider-Man
There's
comics.
just too many.
But I think this one is going to be something slightly original or taken inspiration from one of the other comics, because we have a different villain here. He's not your usual Dr. Octopus, or he's not your usual Green Goblin. He's actually a millionaire of some sorts who's tied in with the triads. He's an Asian.
He kind of reminds me of like someone like Kingpin.
Yeah.
A little bit. We do actually see Kingpin in the trailer here, where he's talking to Spider-Man on the phone. And it's going to look very interesting, because not only is this a slightly more mature Peter Parker, at the very end of this trailer, which fans really appreciated, they also tease Miles Morales.
Okay, what's really cool as well about this that I like is that, it's now that we're already in a different universe and stuff, I'm kind of happy they're not doing the whole Uncle Ben route again, because there's only so many times that I can see that poor man die again and again and again. And I'm gonna guess that this one doesn't have a love interest either.
This one,
not yet,
not
but
yet.
we don't know yet.
It's kind of hinted, because there are small segments that's been shown where you can play as Mary Jane.
Ah, okay. That's
So
interesting.
maybe she might be, or there might be Gwen Stacy in this universe. We'll need to find out more.
Right. Okay, definitely. This is something that I really like to. I'm not really a big fan of superhero games, but this one actually really piqued my interest. That is definitely something I want to do. All right, let's catch up with the comments again. We have Ralph Roque. I'm tired of Splinter Cell titles. Resident Sleeper. Okay, what do you think? Do you think that Splinter Cell is something that's getting kind of boring now?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that it's about time for them to try something new. I
Yes,
mean,
definitely. I mean, Sam Fisher is not getting any younger.
Yeah, for
He's-
sure.
they
he's
better
big-
do something impactful. Yeah.
something impactful. Give him a perfect send off. I mean, we've already had to say a very tearful goodbye to the Metal Gear series,
Right.
and in a way, there was a DLC for Wildlands where they actually had Sam Fisher come in and indirectly quote, "I'm the last guy now."
Okay.
So it wouldn't be surprising if, let's say, they do make one, which is a big bang, a safe farewell to Sam Fisher to hand the torch over.
Okay, so next comment with Akid Ibrahim. Ha ha ha, talk about Splinter Cell. I remember when I played on mobile phone too. Ha ha ha.
You
that's
too,
how-
huh? Everyone starts with the mobile version
phone.
here, huh?
Yep.
It's when you steal your mom's mobile phone. It's like, oh, we have a game in here, and that happens to be Splinter Cell. Okay, next up, we're going to go to the next big.
What's your mom
war.
doing with Splinter Cell?
It just happened to be there, dude. We have Ghost of Tsushima.
Yes.
This
oh,
game
this is
looks
interesting.
really, really good. This is Matt's favorite game. He was freaking out about it, but unfortunately, he couldn't defeat.
It's okay. I'll bring the energy for Matt.
I mean, to be frank, I'm also excited about Tsushima.
It looks really good.
Because
yeah?
like what Matt mentioned before, this game is based off like a real history.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say based off, inspired by.
Inspired
Yeah.
by,
So it's literally set in 13th century, Japan, where you have Mongols invading. Actually, 1274. So where Mongols invade Japan.
It was
And
the island, right?
yeah, Tsushima.
Yes, the island of Tsushima.
Correct. And you play as a lone samurai slash ninja, where your families are all been murdered or
Like
massacred.
everyone has
Yeah.
been killed,
Correct.
correct?
And so you're there alone, and what do you do? Do you run away, or do you like do the same with them to them? So yeah. So basically, it's about, I would say, revenge story. We don't know too much about the gameplay yet. I mean, there's they haven't really reviewed anything, but I have a very high suspicion that this will be another I would say like hack and slash sort of action game. And the combat, the blade action better be A1.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you see the graphics is amazing.
It looks really beautiful. I like how, I mean, you know, like you actually see these kind of buildings back in Japanese in the day, and I
Yes.
like that they actually maintained, you know,
Mm.
historically the historical accuracy
Accuracy.
enough.
Mhm.
You know, and to me, it's been a while since we actually seen, you know, a game that actually really tries and get really inspired by the Japanese lore.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be a thing back in the PlayStation 2.
Correct.
A lot of the games were
Yes.
there. I mean, look at Crimson Butterfly, Fatal Frame, you
Fatal
know, and stuff
Frame.
like that.
A lot of elements of
Japanese
Japanese,
culture
culture, some
was
history.
there.
Correct.
And then you
Yeah.
have Okami as well, you know.
Mm.
But of course, the question here is like, is he a ninja or is he a ghost ninja?
Because it
Uh-huh.
seemed like he
Why
has
not
some
both?
kind of supernatural powers.
A little
looks
bit.
that way.
Either
have
that or he could just be like, you know, a Naruto kind of ninja where you,
Oh, no.
kind
Oh,
of
no.
like fantasize things. But I don't think so. I think he may be a spirit. I'm not too sure. I hope not. At the same time, I want it to be real. Yeah.
My guess is it's probably just gonna be like a title or a moniker for him,
Mm.
because if his entire clan and family is murdered, you know, he is the last one.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to exact revenge using stealth and smarts and
Probably.
whatever he has. So, you know, they could make him into a myth where he is the ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, where it's
Yeah.
like a
Mm.
nickname, right?
Yeah.
Okay, call me crazy,
yeah.
but I think that he probably did, you know, he probably did suicide.
Seppuku? Ooh.
Yeah, but I think that he did that because, you know, everyone is gone.
Yeah.
But he couldn't move on, so he ended up
Ah.
becoming a very angry,
Vengeful spirit.
vengeful spirit. Like
Yep.
you see a lot of that in the Japanese lore. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually, you know,
Yep.
went with that narrative. But you know
And-
what? We'll see.
We'll
I'm
see,
very
we'll see.
sure that it will show us some sort of gameplay and at least a story trailer.
I'm
So
really
please stay
hoping
tuned.
for a new trailer, at least no,
A story
3
trailer.
Or
minutes.
more gameplay. You know,
3
more
minutes.
gameplay.
I'm also really hoping that the developer actually walks us through, tell us what inspired the game, because
Mm.
then we'll have like a better picture
More
as to what,
appreciation to
yeah,
it, yes.
as to what the game is. Okay, now we are going to my favorite game, guys. Oh, you can
Alright,
feel the
this one-
caffeine kicking in.
This one is you on high gear now. I can sense
Yes,
it.
it is The Last of Us 2. Okay, I just picked this game up last year. You know, people were talking about it for a long time, but I didn't have a PlayStation. So I picked it up, and it was actually one of the most terrifying games I've ever played, but it was so good. The environment was beautiful. The story was told very beautifully, and even though, you know, it can be a little bit tough at times, they don't have easy mode, but you know what, it felt very rewarding when you
Yeah.
managed to go through by yourself, you know. I actually loved everything about The Last of Us 1, and I'm a little bit terrified for Last of Us 2
Oh, why
because
so?
I'm just saying, what if it doesn't live up to what I expected from The Last of Us 1?
Oh.
I hated the DLC for The Last of Us 1.
Oh,
I'm
really?
so sorry. I just didn't like it. It just say in terms of like character development,
Yeah.
Ellie doesn't seem like Ellie.
Oh,
She just felt
okay.
a little bit off to me personally.
Maybe for a good reason.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
You know, maybe.
which I hope that we will find out more, because I the reason why I really like about part 2 is because, like, you know, of course the hype is real, but
Yeah.
at the same time it's like I actually would like to see Joel in action, because
Yeah.
like we have been playing, you know, Joel pretty much
the
The
whole
whole
of the first game.
Part
The
one.
whole game.
and
yeah.
now I want to understand his motivation, his
Right.
intention, and hopefully also get to play Ellie more.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we will. I have a feeling that maybe this time we'll be taking over Ellie. And because, for the sole reason being, the cliffhanger at the end of The Last of Us 1,
Spoiler alert.
It was very. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm
Okay.
just saying it was a different kind of cliffhanger. It wasn't the
Yeah.
kind of like, you know, if is someone dead, is someone alive. It's more of like a morality kind of
Yes.
cliffhanger, you know? So now that we see Ellie here on the guitar, fun fact, in the first Last of Us, he actually mentioned, I will teach you guitar after all this, which means that Joel is still in the picture. He did
Definitely.
actually manage
So-
to teach her
How to
guitar.
play guitar.
He's not dead,
He's not
He
dead,
isn't.
he's there. But the thing is,
or maybe
now,
he's a zombie teaching guitar.
Oh,
Please don't ruin this for me.
or maybe
That's
like
all.
right now,
Zombie
you know,
guitar
Yeah.
teacher, you know,
or maybe this is just a figment of Ellie's imagination. You
or
know?
maybe she learned it from someone else.
okay,
Yeah.
that's also a thing, but you did hear Joel's voice.
Yes.
You did
But that
hear
could
it.
also be a flashback or imagination. So we don't know
Correct.
yet.
Okay, the thing
But
is,
we
like,
can be hopeful.
I'm actually scared that Ellie became this violent girl
Uh-huh.
because she found out the truth and she got annoyed and angry at Joel. She went on a rampage. I'm thinking that maybe she tried killing him or they had a very big argument.
Mm.
So she wants to exact revenge, but she couldn't because she cares about the man. You know,
Yeah.
he took
Perhaps.
care of her. But that's just what I think, you know? So there's a lot of questions here that I want to know,
Yeah.
especially from the trailer about the 3 ladies, I think it was.
Yep.
You see a lot of very strong ladies in this
Yes,
one.
okay,
And,
you
you
do.
know,
But what do you think they will review for us? I mean, in the press con, do you think they'll be gameplay or more story or at least a release date?
I'm hoping for another trailer and then a little bit of gameplay, and then suddenly, bam, they're gonna drop a release
And
date.
give us a date. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think even if they don't tell us too much, at least a date will help
I
me.
think a
That would
date.
help a lot.
I think
Because,
for the ETA will be end of next year.
Yeah, at least for me, I will know when to save some money.
Yeah, this is
Plan,
something.
you know, for
This
next
is
year.
something I'm actually gonna keep. I have a feeling the game will be around 250 Malaysian ringgit or so. The usual.
The usual, maybe a
Yeah.
bit more if you throw in like some special edition
I'm
stuff.
hoping. I actually wouldn't mind getting special edition for this one
Yeah.
because this company, I see that they put a lot of care in their
Yep.
games. They're not
Mhm.
one to mince around.
Yep.
Everything was done very well. Let's just hope they don't. I'm not scared too much about how the graphics or gameplay is gonna be. I'm more worried about the character development.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's all I'm really, really scared
Like
of.
where this
But
is
that-
gonna go.
There's only one way to find out. Wait till
Yeah.
next
Just
year.
to wait and get
Yeah.
the game.
All right, now
Um,
before we move on, there's another comment here. It's from Danish Dani Khan. Any news about Prince of Persia?
Not yet.
Not
We are
yet.
hopeful. I mean, even our Ubisoft expert Sam.
Yeah, Sam
Sam.
was actually talking about
Yeah,
it.
and
He
he's
wants it.
really, really like a Prince of Persia fan.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would hope to see, but I don't know yet. It's still a bit too early to tell.
Yeah, it'll be a nice surprise if we get to see a new Prince of Persia.
I think the
Yeah.
last time I actually played Prince of Persia was PlayStation 2.
Two?
Yeah, it was quite a while
The
ago.
first time I played was on a PC, CRT monitor.
Oh wow,
Okay,
the one,
that's
the
the one with the
really-
white
yeah.
tunic.
correct. Like the 8-bit, 16-bit. Yeah, pretty much
Wow.
that. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about hardware.
Yeah.
So people,
PlayStation
because
hardware.
the thing is, like,
Next
people
gen.
have, because the CEO himself have been saying that the PlayStation 4 is reaching the end of its life cycle. Give it another 2-3 years and then it's done.
Mm.
So will they be teasing the next PlayStation 5 in this year's
Ooh.
E3? Because personally, to me, I feel that, if there's 2-3 years, there's still a while to go. I would rather them tease, not let's tease, like just bring it out. Like this year's E3, PlayStation 5, guess what? In a
Oh.
month, you can get it.
No,
That would be
no.
awesome.
Okay,
I
that's-
don't think
that's-
That would be awesome.
that is very unlikely
Okay,
because like
obviously.
that's just them throwing out all their cards. It's no longer just being smart and confident. It's becoming a bit brash if they were to do that
Yeah,
already.
maybe, yeah.
And I mean, it's not like they really need to because yes, while the Microsoft conference was really outstanding with 50 games and 18 exclusives,
Yeah.
I don't think Sony has to be that worried actually.
Mm.
They've got a great lineup of
Yeah.
games here. They've got great expectations, and in a way, this is just them thinking forward.
Yeah.
At
Right.
the very most, if they were to, I'm gonna assume it's just gonna be like maybe the CEO is just gonna mention in passing, oh, by the way, we're working on a new console. We'll tell you more next year.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
that-
think
that-
at most like a logo review or even a silhouette.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
silhouettes will be really
Yeah.
awesome.
Because the
yeah.
thing is that then they
Lines.
might not even give you a date. Because the thing is that we all know that next gen will take some time sometimes, and it's like I think 6 years since PS4 and Xbox One, right? So I would give them another at least 2 to 3 years of development before they decide to when to release. Because this is not so much of just like I want to come out with the console, but you also have to work with the developers,
Right.
and there are tons of them. You have to work with the dev kit and stuff like that. So there's a lot of executions,
A lot of logistics involved.
logistics and everything.
Yeah.
So I think at least 2020, if not
2020.
21.
Ooh,
But
2020.
having said that,
So
this
far away.
year I from what I know, sources already mentioned that they will not announce anything about PS5. Yeah. But,
Okay,
yep.
good enough. For me, I
Do you think they'll call it the PS5 though?
I have a feeling.
I hope not like another
Yeah.
PS55 or 35
Don't
or
jump
67,
numbers.
76.
just go
Yeah.
with it, you know.
PlayStation Extra.
But I
you
think
know,
for
no,
Fallout
PSX.
76, it had good reason. Personally, I feel like
Uh-huh.
because they
Mm.
want to make Fallout 5, it's that single player title. 76 is their MMO, you know,
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's probably why.
Yeah.
Okay, now last thing that.
PS5 for fighters. Anyway,
Oh my god.
continue. Yeah,
Before-
sorry.
Wait for this. We're gonna do one thing I wanna ask you guys. So this is a lot talking about this. Is the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I only played RE 4 and 7,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
that's the only thing I know. But how great was Resident Evil 2? Actually?
According to a lot of people, including myself, RE2 is the best RE in the series.
Oh,
For
is
me,
it?
for me, yeah.
Okay.
Agreeable.
Yeah, because at that point of time, it's just really ahead of
Right.
everybody in terms
Right.
of technology, in terms of gameplay, in terms of storyline. I would say RE2 is the one that really expanded the franchise.
Right.
RE1, of course, set up the whole thing, but RE2 really expanded into like Umbrella Corp, Raccoon City, and all the important characters. All they were shining back then.
Right.
Yeah.
So of course, people were really excited when they actually they announced it a couple of years back. They are
Did it?
working on it.
Yeah.
So people were like crazy, like because like the RE2, if they get a remake, I think is really great because the technology will actually support the game much better now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But having said that, I don't think they will show us the gameplay.
Right.
If anything for
Mm.
this year,
it's just a reveal.
reveal, logo,
Maybe a
like a
teaser.
5-10 second teaser,
Yep.
and that's about it. They will likely show more in TGS this year.
Okay, so
That's my-
one
that's my-
question
my prediction.
I have for you guys. Would you
Yeah.
rather have a new Resident Evil altogether or a remake for RE2?
A remake.
Remake.
Let's go
Because-
remake. Yeah, I'll go remake because it's
Mm.
about time they brought back a classic, reimagined it, make it better.
Personally, for me, because RE7 was to me a flop. So
Oh.
to see, okay, because Resident Evil is one of the iconic titles,
Mhm.
and then you have Resident Evil 7,
Mm.
which didn't really kind of like, it's like, introduction to Resident Evil for me was 7. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
RE7
this wasn't-
succeeded in the gameplay, but not in the storytelling.
Correct.
yeah. It halfway through something happened. I don't know what. It just went.
It
It
just
just
went.
went
It just
bad.
went way off
We
course.
went like this, and then just like crashed downward. How do you even do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so because of that, do you guys, what else? Okay, if say that they do bring out not a remake for 2, or maybe they do say a remake for 2, but they are going to work on an RE8. What do you guys think you like to see in that one?
I don't think
Ooh.
RE8 is even possible.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Probably not. But they
It's
may
too
have a
soon.
spin-off or some sort. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a RE Umbrella, for example. But I don't think it's
Maybe.
possible for them to come out with a full sequel.
Not
after,
likely,
The
not so
7
soon.
is like what 2 years ago.
About that.
About
that. 2 years
and they've
ago,
also
yeah.
got some content already. There's also the VR level you get to play with RE7, and there's also the there's one DLC where I believe Chris Redfield actually comes back.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the VR, most of the DLCs in RE7 was absolute trash. Don't even say anything about it. You
So-
paid practically full price for minigames.
Correct.
Pretty
I
much.
would think that just stick to remake.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just stick to RE2 remake and.
I
That's
think
great.
a remake will be good because it will remind everyone this is what the iconic Resident Evil was, and
Mhm.
this is the bar it should reach.
Correct.
Exactly.
That's kind of like a like a refresh blast from the past kind of
Mm.
thing,
Yep.
which is good. And now my favorite part of the day, we are gonna do change my mind.
Alright.
Let me just stretch and flex a little bit.
Okay,
here.
so we have the big guns today. I was actually saying it during dinner. I was hoping to see the big guns of the office, come here and kind of just like debate it out because Freddie just steamrolled over poor Matthew,
Poor
yesterday.
Matthew.
Not yesterday.
2 days ago.
2 days,
2 days
ago.
ago, yeah.
Sorry, my sense of time is kind of warped now.
It's okay. We haven't been sleeping well in the
Yeah,
past 3 days.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
what is change my mind?
Okay,
Just
change
explain
my
to me.
mind is basically the segment where we will have 2 choices. In this case, it'll be Final Fantasy VII Remake versus Resident Evil 2 Remake, which is better. They have some amount of time to kind of convince me which is better and why. So before we jump into that, we have some comments here. From Erwin Bantilan, is the Battletoads in 2D or 3D form?
We can't tell yet. I mean, I don't think they show us.
There wasn't much. It was
Yep.
just a logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope to be a 3D game.
Yeah, me
I
too
hope so
here.
too.
Yeah.
Maybe they could make it better than Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
I want to see Ninja Turtles
That's
taken
a
again.
very
That
low
would be-
benchmark you
Yeah,
set there.
well,
What?
Really
Hey,
low.
that's
no.
hard. That's not hard to make, right?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We have Paul RJ Oyales. At what time exactly does it start here in the Philippines? It will start at 1 a.m. for
GMT
plus 8. I think it's the same time in Manila.
Yeah.
Yes,
it
For
should-
the
Square
same.
Enix.
For Square Enix. You're gonna put the schedule on screen real quick for you guys if you guys want to have a look. If you guys did not catch this, don't worry, you can check c.ign.com. We have the schedule up for you guys. Alright. Next up we have Ralph Roque. Oops, sorry, comment went away. So if Spider-Man equals Arkham City and not Arkham Asylum, I'll definitely not buy it. And then if it's just like Arkham Asylum though, then it's a no from me. Okay, what do you
I
guys
think it would be more than Arkham Asylum because
It'd
the
be
thing is
better.
that Arkham is good because of the brand and the story as well as the combat. For Spider-Man, I think the room for the improvement for combat and the gameplay will be higher because he can literally go anywhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, think about it this way. Batman is always heavy, and he always had to rely on his
Correct.
grapple hook.
Yes.
Spider-Man is so elastic and so
Very
limber.
light.
Because-
yeah.
Yeah.
Because Batman is just a human with a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay? Spider-Man is superhuman, you know. So I would think that the space for him to do more in terms of like combat would be higher.
All right, and
Mhm.
then we have. Okay, I think Azim said Battletoads is 2.5D.
Ooh, 2.5D.
Interesting.
4.2D.
4.2D.
What fourth dimension?
Okay, now change my mind.
All
Okay,
right.
can I know who is Team Final Fantasy 7 Remake and who is Team Resident Evil 2?
Yep. I'll
Team
be
Final
representing
Fantasy.
RE. Yep.
RE and Final,
Final
Fantasy,
Fantasy,
both
that's right.
both classics, both amazing in their own ways. Who wants to go first?
I will let you start first.
Me first.
He
Oh.
looks like he's ready to steamroll.
Oh, he's ready to steamroll. All right, I'm
I
gonna
want to
build
hear
this
what
wall.
you have first.
I'm
you know,
gonna build the wall just as
Before
high
we
as
start, I just
Midgard.
want to make it clear that both games are good.
Yeah.
They were
Definitely.
great. But when you come to remake, there are some things.
There
you know?
will be things to
So
consider.
I'll let you start first. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. Am I on the timer? No.
No,
No,
not
not
yet.
yet.
yet? Okay,
Go ahead,
all
go
right.
ahead.
Okay, it's Final Fantasy VII. This is one of the most iconic RPGs known globally. There's
Mhm.
hardly any other. I mean, there are plenty, but Final Fantasy VII is so well known. There are humongous fan bases around the world, all for Cloud, Tifa, Ares, Sephiroth. I mean, people still go around singing Sephiroth.
Yeah, it's
You know,
still a thing. Yeah.
It's still a thing, and the story itself is very engaging. At the same time, Final Fantasy VII was a massive change for Square Enix, where it went from Final Fantasy VI, which is still like the 16-bit era, you know, over to full 3D. I mean, granted, at the time it was blocky 3D, but it
Yeah.
built the world. It was a massive step forward for Square Enix and delivering JRPGs to a whole new world for
Right.
PlayStation as well. It's so iconic that, you know, people feel you need to remake this game. This is one of the games that deserve a remake for better looks, better graphics, and in a way make people fall in love with it again. Because let's face it, Square Enix has been doing great work with their graphics, and they've been making great movies like Advent Children.
Yeah.
They do not, I repeat, they do
Okay,
not have an excuse.
Hang on. Advent Children wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of looks, it was pretty
Yeah.
awesome, alright? I mean, they got the magic, they got
Yeah.
the materia, they got to see Cloud again, the continuation of the story, and there have been so many spin-offs.
Right.
There is a whole universe and a whole fan base built on not just the main story but all the offshoots as well, like Dirge of Cerberus. It's pretty it's not as well known, but it's got a very niche following. And then there's of course the prequel, which was what was it called again, on the PSP.
Right.
I believe it was Crisis Core, the one that
Yeah.
explores the story of Zack. What
That
happened?
one made me cry.
It made me cry too. So, if anything, this is an iconic game. This is a game that people grew up with, that I grew up with, that
Yeah.
really told me a story that I could relate to, characters I really care about, and it really, really deserves a remake. It really deserves a reshowing of a modern version of what Midgard looks like, of what the many iconic landmarks, what the Rocket Tower is, where you meet Sid, Cosmo Canyon, and you definitely want to see an amazing CGI look of Sephiroth as the One-Winged Angel
course.
fighting Cloud.
And I tell you what, you are not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you, because whatever you say now is just like whether FF7 deserves a remake, and I say yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of games deserve a remake, you
Mhm.
know, including, I would say, any
Resident
great
Evil
games, you know,
7,
Yeah,
a lot of
Resident
things.
2.
Resident Evil 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know. but now we are talking about whether FF7 remake
Mhm.
would it be a better game than RE2 remake or not? But because whatever you say
Mhm.
applies to RE2 as well,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because RE2 has a great franchise, has a great
Mhm.
story, and what more does RE2 have than FF7 is that the whole franchise is connected.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Final Fantasy, not really.
Yeah, they
Well,
had.
it
they-
Okay,
doesn't
you
really
have
have
one.
to.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
But when you remake a game, because you say, you know, people remember Cloud,
Mm.
whatever, but people remember Redfield as well,
Yeah.
and his growth
Mm-hmm.
and he's evolving, you know, from like
Mm.
1, 2, 3 to all the way until he's not even there now. Okay, and so the franchise, it really support the story
Mhm.
and also the perception.
Mm.
And one thing you talk about technology, yes, everything can be so much better now in terms of
Mm.
look, but you also have to remember that when you remake Final Fantasy VII, do you change the gameplay? Would it still be turn-based better, or would it be like action time, real time? What would it be? We don't know yet.
Well,
If they change that, people will be like, complain. But RE2 is technically the same. It's just that, and also it's a horror genre, right? So when it's horror with the new technology, I don't care about VR. Please don't give me VR first. But the sound design, the graphic, everything would help the horror genre a little bit more. Just in my own opinion, because last time even with just like polygon quality graphic, people were already like scared of RE2 and so wow, I really I believe in all this. I believe in like Umbrella Corp and everything. But now with technology, it will triple fold, if not, make it even like 10 times better.
Yeah.
But then again, we already saw the gameplay a little bit in the trailer for
the remake of Final Fantasy 7.
It kind of looks like Final Fantasy 15.
Yes,
correct.
It is adopting the same combat system of Final Fantasy 15, which is active turn combat. Yeah, you can run around, you can use your abilities, you can use combat, and if I may add, actually, this is actually a strength, not really a weakness to say.
No, I missed you.
No, I do miss turn-based combat too. I do miss turn-based combat too. But let's put it this way: if you're gonna remake a game, all right, there are certain elements which you should change, because let's face it, turn-based combat for Final Fantasy 7 so many years ago was the way combat was best appreciated at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now combat has evolved so much in the Final Fantasy series. Just to extrapolate a bit, you said that Chris Redfield continues on with other stories of Resident Evil, right? Well, guess what? Every Final Fantasy always improves on its combat system. From 7, with its turn-based combat and materia. From 8, where you have the junction system. From 9, where you have summons, which is very classic.
Yep.
So it makes complete sense to have a remake of the combat system to improve it further, because you already seen how amazing 15's combat looks, and you already kind of expect Cloud to do flashy things with the movies and the shows.
Good point.
So if you could do that yourself in the game to make you really feel as cool and powerful as the soldier that Cloud Strife is, I think there will be no qualms. And if there was a complaint or two, it's probably just for the purists, but they'll still get the game anyway.
Yeah, that's probably right. Okay, guys.
And you could do that too in RE2.
Yeah, but
Oh my God.
that is true. That is true. The
Here
points
we
apply
go.
too.
Here we go.
But if I may add, RE2 will still predominantly have to be an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter.
Yes.
Yeah.
One more thing I would like to add. I mean, because since you talk about technology and story, right? I do want to add that in comparison, the story of RE2 and FF7, FF7s can be a little bit convoluted. That's when when you do a remake, you will want to think, do I want to change the storyline or not? Okay, well, this is just something to think about, which may make a lot of people like a bit iffy, including myself. I'll be like, please don't do that. But at the same time, I'm like, if they change that arc, maybe it could improve the game. I'm not sure. But as of RE2, you don't need to change anything in terms of storyline. It's already very good because you just need to add the atmosphere, and that's it. Perfectly done.
All right, guys. I
Okay.
think I've heard what I had to hear. I'm going to give you guys each 1 minute to convince me one last time. Okay, so who wants to go first?
You start first. You
Yeah,
end.
sure. I'll go first
Okay,
then. All right.
now for the timer. Timer start. Pop, pop, pop now.
Okay, it's Final Fantasy 7. It is the epitome of the best RPG, most recognizable around the world. It deserves a remake. It deserves a lot of better graphics. It also deserves a better combat system, because let's face it, we have already been spoiled with better combat systems from every future Final Fantasy that has come out since then. And let's face it, you want to see Cloud, you want to see Sephiroth, you want to see that awesome battles, you want to re-experience the journey of Cloud and his friends going against Sephiroth when he tries to destroy the world. It is a very epic story, and even if you need to update and change certain things for the remake, things that only matter like combat core systems, bring back the material junction systems, I mean, yes, please do. It deserves it. It is a story that is worth telling again, even better, and you don't really need to change much of the story itself. We already know the story. We love the story. What you can do is expand it, add in the expanded universes, the movies, the comics, and give us an all-new experience to fall in love again. Thank you.
All right. Okay.
I agree. That's great points. Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, timer starts now.
And those are great points to prove that, FF7 deserve a remake. Well, of course they deserve a remake because it's already a remake. They already confirmed it, of course. But what we are trying to talk about here is whether RE2 is better than FF7 remake.
Right.
And I'm telling you, yes, because mainly is due to the genre, because you're talking about horror survival, right? Back then, when you have the shape of square, literally like like triangle, and even with those time, with the voice acting and the storyline and the atmosphere that they created alone are already able to tell you that RE2 that back then is already the best in the series. And even until now, there's still people saying that RE2 is still the best.
Right.
And if you use current present days technology to enhance the horror, to enhance the storytelling, FF7 would not even come close. Because it's RPG. Yes, you can you go have fun with whatever character, but at the end of the day, do you have immersion? No. RE2 has.
And both of you guys used every single second in the
milk that
1 minute. Oh my god. Okay, now I've already made my decision, and it was extremely tough, and it's still tough because I cannot choose a winner. It's a draw.
Oh, dang! We had a draw.
Yeah, we're having a draw this time. I'm sorry, guys. The reason is very simple.
That's
That's what I said.
No,
Yes,
no,
yes.
you have to use the RE2 sound effect. What the heck?
What?
Okay.
Ooh.
Production!
But anyways, personally for me, I feel like both games do deserve a remake, because honestly for me, I would really like to see how an iconic horror game would look like. Because personally to me, I feel like nowadays the new gen horror game, the only thing that is actually good in the pinnacle is Outlast, and nothing. Even Outlast 2 was absolute trash. Nothing can reach that, and I would like to see a good horror game. As
Okay.
for Final Fantasy 7, I feel like a lot of games do have a good storytelling, and Final Fantasy does have that, and I would love to bring back that and then show everyone like this is what storytelling should be, because nowadays not a lot of games have good storytelling, especially the longer ones. Most games are very, very short.
Yeah, because to be frank, I feel like RE2 really has the potential to be like PT,
Yeah.
but full length.
Exactly. As I said, when you have these kind of remakes,
Yeah.
these are long full games, and I would like to see that come back, because I'm kind of sick of paying $200-$300 for like maybe 10 8 hours of gameplay.
Yep.
But yeah, you know what, guys, let's just wrap up for today, because after this, later at 1 a.m. in exactly about 2 hours, we're gonna meet Square Enix on the stage, and I am really excited for that. So don't forget, guys, if you guys want to check out the schedule, it is up here for you guys. We have like 1 a.m. will be Square Enix, followed by Ubisoft over at
4 a.m.
4 a.m. and then finally it'll be Sony over at 9 a.m. So we're not gonna sleep.
Not
But don't
at
worry,
all.
if you guys want to sleep, it's fine, because we got you guys. If you guys do want to stay up and watch with us, we are over at c.ign.com. That is where you can catch our live stream. Okay, don't forget to come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we'll be having one last Let's Talk E3. It is the final one. We'll be talking about Nintendo. So before you guys go, let us know what you guys think about today's what's going to happen in today's press con. We will, and then let us know what you guys want to see us talk about tomorrow. All right, guys, good night everyone, and we will see you guys later.
Ciao. Final Fantasy 7.
No. I mean, yes.